My boss shared confidential information with me and it unknowingly spread out.
Who leaked it?
So this happened today and I really need to get it all out because I am honestly anxious about going into work tomorrow. I, 20s female, have a bad history with my coworker, who I will call Jess, 30s female. Jess has always been unprofessional and erratic. Everybody knows this about her. She also does not like me for reasons I genuinely do not understand. By the way, this comes from Original Throwaway. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I am Savannah.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we are here to give good advice goofily, but obviously we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in this situation, but we would love to know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, our manager has been trying to put an end to gossip and drama since she started with the business about 6 months ago. I thought I had a decent relationship with my boss, 40s female, but lately things have felt strained. Yesterday, I had a meeting with my boss regarding a change at work. This change would affect another coworker, Sarah. During the meeting, my boss specifically asked me not to discuss the change with anyone yet. I did not say anything at all to anybody. You will just have to believe me, which is why I am so nervous about this entire situation. Today, my boss called me into her office and aggressively accused me of telling Jess about the change. Apparently, Jess then told Sarah about it, and Sarah was extremely upset. Jess also told my boss that I was the one who told her this information. Wait.
Oh, spreading lies about you?
What?
Sorry. Spreading lies about you?
Like I said, my boss was aggressive and continued accusing me even after I denied it. I refused to take responsibility for something I did not do. I am terrified of the fallout from this, especially because it is something I had no part in. I do not know how Jess found out about the change, and frankly, I do not care. I do not want to be involved in any of this. This kind of thing has been happening for months now. I just want to go to work, do my job, and come home. What do I do now? And there's some comments. I'd go for the truth and show respect and calmness while talking, even though people won't believe it. OP responds, I'm mostly concerned about potentially being written up over this situation. Rod57 says, sounds like you work with a bunch of kids, including your boss. OP responds, that's certainly how it feels. I am job hunting and have some promising leads, but I want to preserve this in the meantime because I work for a great international company. New Life C13 says, I'm sorry that you're in an uncomfortable situation. I know you told me about admin change and confidence, and I did not say anything to anyone, including Jess. I don't know why she would lie, but I have behaved with integrity here. Maybe you say otherwise or state something incorrect rather than lie. Lie is a bit of an aggressive accusation. OP responds, I told boss yesterday, I don't know how Jess found out, but I did not tell her. She did not tell you the truth. Deleted says, I know this probably isn't helpful, but why did your boss tell you about the change before he told the employee that it affects? I don't understand that part of it. I was thinking that too. All you can do is be honest and stand your ground, really. OP responds, boss told me about change because I requested it in a private meeting with her the day before. Natalie2727 says, it's my guess that someone was listening at the door when your boss told you about the change, then blamed you for telling. LSD saved my life, said. Or maybe they were guessing? The term I've heard is throwing crap at a wall and seeing what sticks. It could be that the drama queen just guessed what was going on, and once she got some feedback for it, she ran with it, and OP is now getting blamed for it. I cannot stand that type of person. I have worked with a few, and they are the worst type of people on this planet. It's a shame management doesn't see that. OP responds, both of these would be very likely. Jess was sitting on the floor across the hall when I was told about the change.
Okay, then yeah, I would just say, hey, like, is there any chance that she just overheard this? Because I did not tell her.
It's the fact that she was sitting on the floor. That's what really gets me. Why is she sitting on the floor? Don't they have chairs in this office?
Yeah, no, she's sitting.
She's sitting on the floor in the hallway.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Why?
you just need some floor time.
It's
That's so
true.
true.
we all completely changed it. Okay, you're right. Sorry, I forgot floor time.
Yeah, we had a couple of days in my last job where we would lay on the floor with our feet up against the wall in the hall.
It's nice.
Good for you.
It is. It gets all the blood flowing. But there were 2 closed doors between us, so I'm not sure. Oh, there's an update.
Oh boy.
Should we just go?
Let's go into it. I need to know
Yeah.
how she found out. What's gonna happen? I think OP just needs to tell boss, I didn't do it. You don't have proof.
2 weeks later. So my original post got more attention than I was expecting and helped me realize I need to get serious about finding a new job. I took a long weekend vacation and came back home prepared to quit, job or no job. Luckily, the day after I got back from my trip, I interviewed and accepted a new job. I'm really excited to work in a new department and I'll be working at a nonprofit.
Okay, seems like they're quitting. Seems like that way the boss did not listen.
I don't like nonprofits.
What? Oh, that's what the
I've-
pause was for?
Yes. I've worked with a bunch of different nonprofits and I have just never liked them.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
feel like you
Oh,
should say like you
scared
like
me.
nonprofits in terms of that they work.
yeah, I don't like
I hate nonprofits.
I
Charity's the worst.
I don't like working at a
Yeah,
nonprofit. It's
fair.
really hard to like figure everything out because like you can't take funding and you can't
Yeah.
do it's like so much work and you're like we just need to figure out what to do with zero money and then get people to do stuff for us. And
Yeah.
it's just like getting a lot of people involved and a lot of people are like I'm not getting anything out of it, huh? And then
I
they're
wanna
like
do that.
yeah, it's just like it's a whole new world. But I hope this nonprofit's good. As for my other job, I gave my 2-week notice. I very professionally and unemotionally told our HR rep what happened when I quit. I told him that I loved working for the company and hoped to come back to the company in another location someday. Afterwards, I gave my notice to my boss. She was very happy to see me leave and handled it professionally until the HR rep told her what I said. My schedule was completely cut. I have 2 days left and then I have a 14-day gap between employment. Whoa. Also turns out the company-wide surveys went out today. I'm going to really
Ooh.
enjoy filling it out. It goes to my boss's boss's boss. Boss's boss's boss.
That's a lot of different people.
A lot of boss it goes through.
Yeah.
And is completely anonymous. Well, I would think
Yeah.
if you gave
A really
Specific.
yeah. They're like, this boss was really terrible about handling a situation where someone accuses you of doing something and you didn't do it, and they don't believe you.
the thing is, she doesn't have to go out. She
She's
just is bored.
lying.
You're just a bored donut. Get over yourself. I'm sorry. You're so cute, I can't.
You made her
Anyway,
cry.
top comments. Jixie1 says, in the US, if you give 2 weeks notice and they tell you to leave earlier, then they have to legally pay you for 2 weeks. Make sure you get your money. OP says, I'm an at-will hourly employee, so I don't think I qualify. Annette Exizie.
If you are at a place where you're on salary and you give your 2 weeks and they say we don't want you to work those 2 weeks, then yeah, they have to pay you.
Yeah. Yes, you do. What did HR say about them cutting off your hours? You told them, right? OP says, what would I even say? I couldn't find any sources online. But as far as I understood, I could be wrong. A 2-week notice is notification of immediate resignation, but the 2 weeks is a courtesy, and the only way to be considered eligible for rehire in most places.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
For the-
anytime I heard about it, there is a way where if you quit, you're not getting that, no matter how long they ask you to work or not work. That could be state to
My-
state, though, but I know that some states for sure, if you quit and they're like, you can just leave, actually, they don't owe you anything.
Interesting.
I don't know. Too many ants comments. You can get unemployment for those 2 weeks, but that's about it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. That's what you can do, but that also takes 5 years. OP responds, I am financially stable enough to not need assistance at this time, but thank you for letting me know my options. Extra ketchup, thanks, responds, you might consider going for it anyway. You never know what emergency may come up and wipe your savings. You already pay into this assistance every paycheck you have ever worked. If you do not end up needing it by the time your next job begins and you receive your first paycheck, you can donate it if you like. But do consider that this is assistance you currently have paid in for and are entitled to take. It only hurts when you don't do it. OP responds, okay, so I did a little research and for my state, it says that I qualify. If I quit and my hours are reduced by more than 25%, they have. I just don't want to have to work the last 2 weeks out, so I'm not sure if I should mention this to HR in hopes that they will simply schedule me again. Extra Ketchup replies, if it were me, I would tell HR anyway, so they know what kind of manager they have. Did she change the schedule or just not schedule you the normal hours? Not sure if it matters at the company, but is curious. If you'd be willing to work new shifts, that would obviously be awkward and it would get you more money, then I would definitely talk to HR about how you qualify given the hours situation. OP responds, yearly employee surveys that go to the district manager of the branch just went out today. Smiley face with a weird nose. I don't like the smiley faces with the noses, sorry. They will definitely hear about what kind of person is running the place. By the way, we'll tell you where to run, and that's over to this station, and it's called OK Storytime. And you can listen to full episodes just like this on your podcast stations, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or any other podcast apps that you listen to. Just type in OK Storytime and you will see everything. 3 months plus of listening. There's another update, Bo, we think?
I think it's probably best that you do not work here anymore.
Yeah. I think, well, yeah. It's just, like...
It sucks. Because
Yeah.
you didn't do anything wrong.
Exactly. Like, you didn't even, like... do anything. So it like, you know, they're just going off of this girl's word, I guess. But I feel like it's also the manager or the boss's fault for like telling another employee about something that's going to affect someone when not telling the person that it actually affects.
Yeah.
That was weird. And
Yeah.
just being like, hey, don't say anything, but this is happening. Like, why?
I know,
If
that's
you're not,
strange.
if you're not involved, like I would understand if you're involved in it, then yeah, then you have to know. But like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's definitely a management issue, especially just seeing how they handled it was pretty unprofessional.
Yeah. Anyway, more comments. Observant Barracuda says, I would tell HR and I would apply for unemployment. What your boss did was retaliation and it's illegal. This is the kind of thing HR is intended to handle. You pay into the UI system, take it without guilt. Don't ask for more hours, although if they offer and you turn them down, you might lose the unemployment benefits. Don't forget to leave a review on Glassdoor.
It's like an employment website.
Okay. OP responds, I decided that on my last day, tomorrow, I am going to file unemployment and I am going to submit a complaint on our corporation's ethics line for retaliation. It goes to the HR representative's manager who is off property and has to investigate all claims. I'm not going to talk to HR because they have made themselves very clearly unhelpful. Oh, and that's the end of that story.
My husband stopped inviting me to work events. I think he's ashamed of me.
Yeah, I think he is too.
My husband and I have been together for 9 years. He started his company with some friends a year after we got together. He is the major owner, and they now have 120 employees, about 80% of them men. By the way, this comes from a deleted user. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Angie.
We are here to give you good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. About a year ago, my husband stopped taking me to company parties, events, dinners, and other work functions. He always came up with some excuse to take my mother-in-law instead, or another family member. Sometimes he didn't even tell me there was an event and just went by himself to the smaller ones. He said it was because he wanted the rest of the family to celebrate him too. I was a bit hurt, but I thought, yeah, he's probably right. Now he's in a big city in Europe for a major product launch. He took my sister-in-law with him. I admit that I cried when he excluded me this time because it was such a big deal for his company. But he promised to take me on a luxury vacation instead, just the two of us. That's his new thing. Every time I'm excluded, I get a trip or jewelry. I'm good friends with the other wives of the company owners. One of them is 8 months preggerino, so she didn't go on that trip either. She was surprised to hear that I was home too. So we planned a lunch. During lunch, she told me about an incident that happened at my husband's work. Apparently, in one of the conference rooms, somebody forgot to turn off the projector from the previous meeting. The conference rooms are located in the middle of the office with glass walls and doors so everyone could see inside. On the big screen, there was a list of names, the wives of the owners, and some of the management team. My name was first on the list, marked as 1 with numbers 2 through 10 empty, then another name at 11. My husband heard about this and launched an internal investigation. It turned out that a group of coworkers had been ranking the wives' front airbags for fun.
Oh, shoot. That is so not what I was expecting.
My husband was furious. The wife who told me about it was surprised that I didn't know because the whole situation had created quite a buzz at the company. Her husband had told her about it, and she assumed mine had told me too, but he hadn't. When I asked her when this happened, it was around the same time my husband stopped inviting me to company events. I am so hurt and embarrassed. I didn't realize he was ashamed of me. I'm 100% sure this is the reason he doesn't want me there, and I don't know if I should confront him. Girl, why is your first thought that he's ashamed of you?
I feel like with knowing this information, we should know that that's very much not the case.
Should I confront him? I haven't done anything wrong, and I at least deserve to know what's been going on behind my back. I'm just so mad. Almost none of the guys from that group work there anymore. I never wear provocative or revealing clothes, which makes me even sadder because if he's blaming me, I don't know what I could have done differently. Thank you for your comments. The majority of people seem to believe that my husband's reaction was the right and healthy one because he loves me and wants to protect me. We both love each other, but the protect me part, I'm 38 and I can stand up for myself. Would it be okay if the roles were reversed? Do I have any right to keep him away if it was his body being ranked by my colleagues? I'm not something to be hidden or protected. I don't mean to offend anyone, and I'm not ungrateful for the support, but I really want to understand.
OP, I get what you're trying to say. You know, you're a strong, independent woman, but if this is your husband, right? It's not just a...
Yes.
Yeah, this is your husband. I feel like if I was in your situation, I definitely wouldn't want to know. I'd be so grossed out. I feel like it would have been fine for you to know, but I don't think it's that wrong for you to not know. Although I guess if you did spiral into the whole like, well, why am I not coming then? What are you hiding from me?
But I guess she only did that because he hid it from her.
Right.
And because he started like bringing his mother and his sister instead of
Right.
her.
You're subjecting your mom and your sister to that kind of
Yeah, but I mean,
view?
like, it's more, yeah, okay. So at the end of the day,
Yeah.
yeah, you should just tell your partner,
Yeah,
hey,
okay.
I don't know if you want to come, I'll let you decide. I'll tell you what happened, and then I'll let you decide if
There
you
you
want to
go.
come to the work events
I think
still.
that's great.
Because they objectified you. Comments number 1. I wouldn't jump straight to the conclusion that he's ashamed of you. He's just as likely, I mean, I would even say more likely to be ashamed that his peers and employees would make fun of you and the other wives, so he wanted to spare you from it. If I were in your shoes, I'd just tell him you found out from a coworker's wife and that you're not angry at him about what the other employees did. To me, it seems more like you're mad he kept something from you and that in the future you want to deal with this kind of thing together because you're life partners. Tell him that. Hopefully he'll understand your perspective. Reply says, I think it's exactly this. He's embarrassed by their behavior, and he doesn't want to subject his wife to any creeps like that. So he'd rather keep her separated from any of his employees. Update! Hi again. I have a little update, and I hope I don't ramble your whole evening away. I don't know how to feel about everything right now. Before I update, I want to address something. I stand by the title. I got many messages, probably from men, asking why I call it making fun when they're rating me highly. Let me tell you this. Unsolicited compliments are intimidation. A bunch of men I don't know or care about discussing my and other women's bodies is not cute. I don't feel special, and I don't get any satisfaction or confidence from it. I know this will bring more hate in the DMs, but that's the dark side of the internet. And I'm aware of it. So bring your best misogynistic crap on, and I will report anybody who steps over my boundaries. Second, I think I made the top of the list simply because my husband is the owner, not because I'm bragging about my looks. My husband arrived this morning. Maybe I should have waited until tomorrow to talk to him and just spent today cuddling. Oh well. I made it till lunch after his nap. I told him about my lunch with the other wife and asked if he stopped taking me to company events because of what happened. He simply said yes. He didn't even try to deny it. I asked him why, and he seemed surprised because he thought it was obvious. He said he didn't want his colleagues oogling his wife and disrespecting him. He said he didn't tell me because he didn't want to upset or hurt me, and that he was sorry that I found out. I told him he should have let me decide what embarrassed or hurt me. I felt like he took away my agency. He got annoyed and said, I don't want my private life mixed in with my work life. I like to keep them separate.
But you can bring your mom and your sister, though.
Yeah, you literally brought your family in to work.
I'm kind of annoyed by
They're
both of
oogling
these
your mom
people.
now.
Exactly. And then also, like, I guess maybe he's okay with that because he doesn't see it as disrespecting him, which I don't like that. And I don't like that.
I tried to argue some more, but he shut me down and said the discussion was over. I didn't feel good afterward, but I dropped it anyway. He apologized later and told me to respect how he handled the situation. He said he felt undermined and disrespected when the gossip started about me and the other wives, and that with me, there were more gruesome details like Photoshopped pictures and clips with my face being spread around.
Oh my God.
So all of those people are fired, right?
Right?
Right? All of the people your wife are fired,
That's
correct?
crazy.
I'm a minority, so there were also elements of fetishism and racism involved. I was targeted more than the other women, and that's why the others didn't take such drastic measures. There was a huge inquiry with HR and IT departments involved to trace the source, and many were fired or bought out. My husband decided then that he didn't want this to ever happen again, and his solution was to separate work and private life. And by the way, you never need to separate yourself. From full episodes of stories like this on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, just search OK Storytime.
Yeah, screw all these guys. That's so crazy. I was wondering if like something extra happened, but I was not expecting that to happen.
It being that intense, it's like, well, yeah, I kind of want to shelter you from this, but you could have also just gone to your partner and gone, hey, I need to tell you something. And don't make it like a discussion. Be like, this is, I want to do this moving forward. Because there was some really messed up stuff that has gone around about some of the wives at work, and yours was really the worst. And we fired people. I just want to keep my private life separated from my work life. I just don't want to create a situation where this could ever happen again. So I'm not going to really, I don't want to bring you around any more work events.
He should have thought about that. But maybe they had some sort of conversation that we don't know about, like with the other guys, and it was still like too big of a risk to have like the wife there, but like he trusted that like with new people they wouldn't do that. I don't know. I'm hoping that there's more context behind the scenes that we're getting with that.
I didn't argue, I just listened. I have to say, and I know many of you, based on the support my husband got in the previous post, will disagree with me, that I totally disagree with how he handled this. They did a great job taking the matter seriously and taking action against those involved. But what was I? Collateral damage? A casualty? I should have been the one to decide how to handle something that targeted me as a person, but he did it for himself. He wanted to spare himself the headache and embarrassment, not me. I've been with him since the start. I've been his number one believer, even when things were rough in the beginning, and I basically own half his shares. All of this just feels so unfair, and that is the end of that story.
Oh, because I guess she does have a little bit of like part in the company. I forgot about that. This is a company that he started that grew to like a whole bunch of people. I forgot about that.
You can make the same argument, though, about his side. You know, it's like,
I kind of understand both
yeah,
perspectives.
I see why he maybe tried to hide this from you, but
Yeah.
also because he was just like, well, the last thing I want to do is now make this a fight between me and my wife. But now it's like, you know, no matter what, it's created frictions now.
I called my CEO by his first name and got so shamed for it.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I, 24 male, work at a smallish nonprofit aquarium in the membership department. Among other things, it is my job to track the comings and goings of members and other individuals closely related to our organization, such as donors and trustees. By the way, this comes from Music Mage 4114, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We're just going to guess what we would do in the situation, but let us know what you would do in the comments. So, whenever an important person visits the aquarium, I am required to notify a list of people in various other departments, particularly people who work directly with donors, so that they can follow up with them, ensure that they have/had an enjoyable visit, etc. Depending on the importance of the visitor, this list changes somewhat, and at the highest levels of importance, the primary contact for these notifications is our organization's CEO, along with a multitude of CCs. While these notifications in general are frequent, it is rare that a visit is important enough to warrant notifying the CEO, who is 60s male. In fact, I have only needed to send out notification of this level once before in the year that I have worked here. Today, I received a call from a representative at the gate saying that we had just made a visit. I immediately compiled the list of people to be notified with the CEO as the primary recipient and everyone else's CC'd and sent out this email. I have access to all of the names involved. Here's the email. Good afternoon, Stanley. Chairman of the board's granddaughters just checked in at the gate along with their 2 babysitters. Their mom sent them with a nice note explaining who they were. Though, of course, we would have admitted them regardless. We provided them with tickets to feed the animals, and they are happily on their way. OP. Aside from the specifics of their visit, this is identical to my previous notification I had sent to the CEO and is basically the format I use for all notifications of this type, simply changing who I sent it to. I have never had issues with these notifications before. Not 5 minutes later, I get an email from the Assistant Director of Donor Relations, Janice, 40s female, also on the notification list, who I do not report to in any way. Dear OP, it took me 3.5 years before I called Dr. President Stanley. He is usually the one to extend that privilege. From Janice. She had also CC'd my boss on her reply. For what reason, I can't imagine. Honestly, I was taken aback. I communicate with Janice frequently as membership and donor relations tend to overlap. It being the holiday season means that we've been communicating even more, as donors like to purchase memberships as gifts for their friends and family, and I notify her when this happens. Let me be clear. Everyone, and I do mean everyone in my organization, operates on a first name basis, regardless of age or position. I call my boss by her first name. I call her boss by her first name. I call the executive VP of guest relations, our collective boss, by his first name. This has never been an issue. Being an aquarium, we have many individuals here with degrees that give them a title, but we've used first names with them as well. All correspondence with other people in the organization, whether we have met them personally or not, uses first names. Even at my orientation, when I was being briefed on who the important people at the organization were, I was specifically told Stanley is our CEO. He's very nice. When you meet him, he'll probably ask you to call him Stanley. Wow.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Janice.
To be fair, I have not yet met him in person, but everyone refers to him by his first name, and I have never had any indication that I should do otherwise. I immediately replied to her with, Janice, I appreciate the correction. I had previously referred to Dr. President as Stanley in my last notification, but no one thought to say anything to me then. I will adjust my future correspondence accordingly. I then wrote a quick email to the CEO and CC'd Janice and my boss. Dear Dr. President, I apologize if I have been presumptive in addressing you by your first name. Janice informed me that it was improper and I intended no disrespect. Sincerely, OP. Our CEO isn't on campus on weekends, so I didn't receive a reply from him, nor have I heard anything further from Janice. My boss will be in tomorrow, so she will see the exchange tomorrow. I still feel mortified. I honestly had no idea that I was doing something incorrectly, and now I'm paranoid that the whole host of other people on that notification list are having the same thoughts as Janice about me. So now what do I do? Do I just let this be the end of it? Did I handle this correctly? Any insight would be appreciated. Maybe I'm just making mountains out of molehills, but this is really bothering me. And we do have some comments, but what do you think, Dakota?
I think you need to find where Dr. President lives, and you need to start washing his car, mowing the lawn, and cleaning all the windows to his house without asking first.
Sure.
So that you can prove to him that you are appropriately paying your penance for the egregious disrespect you have visited upon the Dr. President name. Yeah, or just like move on.
Yeah.
I think you could actually, now that I said that one out loud, I think you could just move on from this and it's fine.
Yeah, no, I think you've done everything that you can do. You addressed him apologizing for disrespect. I wouldn't have even thought to put it that way, but I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
If that was even possible, I really don't think... If you were told that in orientation, I think you're fine. Mr. Strangelove MSC says, maybe it took him 3 years to ask her to call him Stanley because she sucks as a person. I agree with another commenter, especially considering that she refers to a dude generally called Stanley as Dr. President, which is precisely at the end of the effing spectrum of things a CEO can be called. Opie says, LOL, I actually couldn't think of a generic last name, so I put president instead. Okay. The gist was that I should use doctor last name. First of all, thank you to everyone who took the time to reply to my original post. The general consensus was that I had handled the situation well, or at least as best as I could have, given my situation and experience. Even those of you who thought I had screwed up said so in a way that was sensitive and respectful. So thank yous all around. Now on to the update. I mentioned in my original post that I had only sent one of these notifications to our CEO once before, and no one had sent anything then. When he replied to me that time, it was only one word. Thanks. No salutation, no signature, just that one word. Understandably, he's a busy man. But this is very important for understanding what happened this time. I got into work this morning and opened my email. Among my various other usual emails, I saw that the CEO had responded to my original notification email at about 7:30 p.m. last night, a Saturday. He had kept intact the original list of people to be notified, so everyone who had seen my original message also saw his reply to me, including Janice. This time, it was 3 words, but I could feel the deliberateness of every one. Dear OP, thanks. From Stanley. Okay, so that's actually
Nice.
4 words. What the frick?
Nice.
By the way...
Called himself Stanley.
But I bet Stanley would really appreciate it if you would listen to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. And there is a little bit more to the story. We got our answer. It's Stanley.
It's Stanley.
It's Stanley.
It's Stanley until the end of time.
And make sure to call him Dr. President, because you do not deserve to
Right.
call him Stanley anymore. But there is a little bit more to the story. So yeah, I think it's pretty clear where he stands on this whole business. I feel a million times better, since the CEO is clearly a very classy guy. My boss also saw his response and also told me that I had done everything right and not to worry about it. So everything worked out okay. Thanks again to everyone who helped me stop freaking out. And there are some top comments. And first comment says,
Oh!
2015 June says, thanks, Stanley. Haha, that's great. Screw you, Janice. Deleted says, effing Janice. I had to work with a lady named Janice who was just like that. You handled this very well. And that's the end of that story.
We all know a Janice.
We all know a
Somewhere across time, we have all come across a Janice.
Don't we all know? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I feel like if that story went on any longer, I think I would start to be very annoyed with OP. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm annoyed with OP as well. To be clear, I'm like, how are we in the workforce?
Like, why are we
We're
don't
like,
need to be
this was
freaking out about this?
This was freaking us out?
I'm annoyed with you, OP, a little bit, but overall, I enjoyed it. So, thanks for that story.
I realized that my mute button wasn't muted during a 2-hour meeting.
And nobody told you?
This happened 2 hours ago, and I'm still hiding under my blanket.
Oh my gosh.
It was a massive all-hands-on-deck meeting with about 40 people in it for a project launch. Usually I keep my mic hard muted on my headset, but today I was eating lunch, so I was double muted. Software mute, headset mute, or so I thought. By the way, this comes from Arma Mayday, and if you want to spin your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Riley.
I'm Angie.
And we give good advice goofily, mainly our thing here. And your thing is to comment what you know down below, because we want to hear it, because we don't really have that much information. So, OP says, about 45 minutes in, the project manager was explaining a delay in the timeline. I, thinking I was safe in my cocoon of silence, let out a very loud, very deep sigh and muttered, "Oh my gosh, just get to the point already. Nobody cares."
Oh no.
Remember that one scene in The Office when someone got a complaint for Daryl, like calling someone while he was having spicy sleep? Remember that? He got a complaint from
No.
Kelly? Yeah. So during one of the episodes, that's what happened.
Oh, was that like a Superfan episode or something?
Yeah.
Got it.
Turns out he was just eating spaghetti.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And he
was
didn't want to
embarrassed.
tell anyone that that was the truth.
Yeah, I was already worried that I don't know if people moan. But you said that?
Yikes.
You don't say that on meetings, do you? Out loud?
I'm pretty sure I have at some point. There was one time where I didn't realize I was muted, and I was like on some meeting and they were playing music. It was a weird training thing.
Okay.
But we also weren't paid to be there. It was weird. But my friends were there and I was like, this is the kind of music that they play during the things. And then they were like, hey, I think your mic's on. I was like, oh, sorry.
The audio didn't just pick it up. Because of the way Teams, Zoom prioritize active speakers, my face popped up on the main screen for a split second. The silence was deafening. The project manager stopped for a solid 5 seconds. Nobody said anything, and he just continued.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, this is how I feel working with everybody, because I'm kind of the guy that gets everything going.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll be talking about something, and they're just like, just get on with it, man. Just shut up. Let's get going.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it goes, though.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of just the employee boss type
Yeah.
dynamic. You just have to You just, hopefully it's not said.
I slowly reached up and tapped my headset. It beeped. Mute on. It had been off the whole time. I have not checked my Slack messages, and I'm considering faking my own passing and moving to a farm. We have some comments here. Comment 1. I'm sorry. My cat makes noises sometimes that sound like frustrated complaints. It's really good at talking.
Listen, yeah, I just have a parrot, and I know my mouth was moving, but it was the parrot's voice.
Exactly. Comment 2. Unfortunate life lesson. It's better to assume everyone can hear you all the time in a big meeting, especially when stakeholders or clients or anything of the sort is involved. It can be exhausting, but it really prevents you from saying anything or doing anything stupid. Opie says this can backfire too. I once muted myself in a team meeting, burped loudly, and then unmuted. Except I was already muted. So from everyone's perspective, I had unmuted, burped, and then immediately muted myself again.
It would be so funny if someone actually did that. If someone did that on purpose, that would be so funny.
Oh my gosh. My boss thanked me for my contribution. Hopefully they take it as, I don't know.
Gotta have a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
The burp is maybe a little easier to have a sense of humor over instead of these complaints.
If I heard that complaint while giving a speech, I was like, I'm going to take my time with this one. So next step.
Yeah.
Because I know that person.
Yeah.
If I call that person out, they're going to listen for the rest of it.
Yeah.
Something I learned over years of working in a call center, never ever talk crap while on a call, even if you think you're muted. The person next to you might not be muted. The person that sent you an instant message might be screen sharing. Don't talk crap unless you're on a secure line, aka not using a work device. Comment 4, just own it. You meant what you said. And the reply is, this is the correct answer. Like it or not, you are now the bearer of honesty. Embrace it. We have an update.
I mean, yeah, I think that could be part of it. You can't just be like, oh, I didn't mean it. I didn't do that. You know, like that's just going to make it worse.
If you own it, man.
You kind of have to own it and then apologize. Just like,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was feeling a little annoyed, but it's not something I would ever say to your face on purpose because it's not that big of a deal. Like I speak my mind past, I mean, I guess maybe that would be backtracking a little bit, but it's just like, yeah, that's how I felt, but I know that that's not my place. And I know that you had a reason for your talking and that's just my impatient self coming out. And I apologize for letting that happen.
Exactly.
That does suck though.
My next question. Can you get fired over this?
I don't know. It probably wouldn't get you fired alone, but it might put you on like
a list.
Yeah, you'd be on some sort of list, and then if there's any other mess up, then it's like, okay,
you're on the list.
She's rude.
Anytime I piss my mom off, she's like, you're on the list.
She does. She says that.
You're on the the crap list.
Oh yeah.
Update. First of all, thank you to everyone who suggested I fake my own passing and move to a farm. You suggested that, Opie. I spent last night looking up potato farming tutorials on YouTube, but unfortunately, I have a mortgage, so I had to log in this morning. I promised an update, so here's the damage report. I logged in at 8:59 a.m. My heart was beating so hard I could hear it in my ears. I hovered over the Slack icon for a solid minute before clicking it. 12 unread messages.
From who? I'm so scared.
Most were from my work friends sending me skull emojis and gifs of people digging graves. But there it was, a direct message from the project manager himself sent at 4:30 p.m. yesterday.
Oh gosh.
The message says, hey, I'm project manager. Do you have 5 minutes for a quick sync before stand up? I guess they're like
That's
morning
just
meeting.
what their thing is called, yeah.
I almost threw up. Quick sync is corporate speak for execution. I joined the call. No video. I wasn't ready for him to see the fear in my eyes. He joined. Silence for 3 seconds. Then he laughed. A dry, tired laugh. And he said, so, yesterday?
Oh.
I immediately started apologizing. I unleashed a word salad of technical difficulties, bad days, audio glitch, and I'm so sorry. He cut me off and said, look, honestly, you weren't wrong. Whoa,
Okay.
I realized after the meeting that I spent 20 minutes explaining a 2-minute delay. I tend to ramble when I'm stressed about deadlines. I stopped breathing. Was this a trap? He continued. However, let's maybe keep the commentary to the internal monologue next time. My boss was on that call.
Oh gosh.
He thinks it was an unprofessional, but I told him that you were just frustrated with the audio issues. You owe me one. The result? I'm not fired.
Yay.
I am, however, officially the mute guy. Not a bad nickname.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I'd take it if I got a mortgage to pay.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that does kind of make sense. Like if I was the boss and I'm like stressed about something and I'm speaking in front of a bunch of people, which like, I mean, depending on how long you've been a boss for and how much you know these people, it might be nerve-wracking to do, especially on a, video call. I feel like that's more nerve-wracking somehow.
Dude.
But I could understand if like that made you be nervous about like, well, I guess maybe was I going for too long? Was that wrong? Probably best case scenario would just happen though.
I'm just glad I'm cool with my bosses.
Yeah.
Like, that would be so hard if I wasn't. Because I can just tell them, I'll be like, sometimes I'm telling them, like, dude, this is way too much for me and I cannot do this. Like, you guys got to cut me some slack or I'm ready for more stuff.
There's a level of communication that you kind of unlock when you're friends with your bosses.
During the stand-up meeting today, when I joined, another coworker typed in the chat, "Careful, everyone, the truth teller is here." I have taped a physical piece of cardboard over my mute button. I'm never speaking again. We have another little update.
Oh my gosh.
Yikes.
I mean, we can joke about it. If people are joking about it, I feel like that's best case.
This is so funny.
Especially if your other friends were like sending you skull emojis and stuff. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
like you're in the clear.
The thing that's tough for me is I'll be on calls with like brands like iHeart or other things.
Mm-hmm.
People come up to me and ask me questions and I got to kind of be like, yo, this is what's happening. I'm always afraid that they'll hear me.
Even though you're answering their questions.
So like with the Uncle Grandpa Dad story, do you want to read that first? Or do we want to like go with the cheating son that cheated on their mom? Which one do you want to pick first? And it's like, maybe like that's kind of like my job is like, which title sounds better?
So what are you?
Grandpa cheated on my wife or Grandpa stole my dog, something like that.
Yeah.
Like crazy stuff. Like crazy.
So what are you nervous about with all that?
That they'll like hear it and with zero context and be like, what are you talking about?
What, like other people who are not on the call will hear it?
Well, like I'm on a call. Someone comes to me asking me, hey, which one do I choose? Yeah.
I thought you meant the brand deal people were asking you that question.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's hard to find a quiet spot around here.
Yeah.
Update. It's been 2 days since I taped a piece of cardboard over my mute button. I genuinely thought if I just kept my mouth shut, the truth teller jokes would pass away out by like Friday, and I could go back to being invisible. I was wrong. This is your new identity.
You're never going to live this down.
I just checked my calendar and saw an invite for a Q4 strategy review on Thursday. Host, the department head, the big boss who heard me sigh. Attendees, the senior leads, the project manager, and me. I immediately panic messaged my PM, the only one I told to get to the point yesterday, asking if this was a mistake. Oh no, by the way, it's not a mistake. Go to your favorite podcast platform, searching up OK Storytime on iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. We have a little bit left here. He's going to get fired.
I think he's going to get a promotion.
Promotion?
Yeah. I think this is going to be like, well, we need the honest one here.
Dang.
I mean, why else would they be there?
He replied, no mistake. Big boss liked your honesty about the timeline delay yesterday. He thinks the rest of the team is too polite to give bad news. He wants you there to call out the BS. Oh,
there we go.
You guys don't understand. I'm not a straight shooter. I'm just an anxious introvert who was hangry and wanted to eat his sandwich in peace. I don't know anything about Q4 strategy. I just want to write code and hide. Oh, he's a coder too. Oh my gosh.
True introvert.
I have a little soapbox I want to stand on after this. Now I've been drafted this corporate vibe checker. If I stay silent, I fail the big boss. If I speak, I might actually get fired this time. Currently Googling how to sound smart without being mean and considering faking a microphone driver failure. This is your new job, man. All right. You're an introvert. You don't really speak on these things. I think this is a good route for you.
I totally agree. And then I feel like because they want honesty, they are probably going to be honest with you. So I feel like you can now talk to them being like, hey, just want to let you know, like, I'm not really used to this. So like, if I say something too far, please let me know. Or if you want more honesty from me, like, please let me know too.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm not, I would like to be better at this, but I need input and feedback.
Exactly.
I think this is great.
I hope you love it. And OP, I think the reason why your words have so much weight is one of my favorite podcasts, Diary of a CEO. Number 2 in the world, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Joe Rogan, Diary of a CEO.
Nice.
I don't even know his name. The host had someone on, and the lady talks about how she doesn't give unsolicited advice. And one of the things that really spoke to me was like how much weight her words have on people because of how often she talks.
Okay.
And she had this example of
Interesting.
she had like these team members, one girl and a guy. The girl, every time she'd have an idea, she would talk, she'd go.
Yeah.
But anytime that guy that never really talked said something,
Yeah.
everyone stopped and listened to what he had to say.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is kind of what you have, OP, because
Yeah.
one, you're a coder, you're smart. You're talking about like creating a microphone failure thing or whatever.
Yeah. To get out of it.
I know a little bit of tech, and I know you know where the buttons are. You have to be smart to do that.
Yeah.
You probably will get a promotion.
Yeah. You literally have like the best position right now.
Yeah.
If you sighed and like honestly kind of insulted this guy and was like really rude in this meeting, you got praised for it essentially. I mean, like
yeah.
you're in the meeting with all of the big guys and you're not a big guy right now.
They liked it.
Yeah. So like that is truly the best thing and you need to run with that and let it happen.
But OP, good luck. We got another one for you guys coming right up. I think my new coworkers have it out for me.
Well, they might.
I joined this business early last year and was so happy because it was my first big job. I had come from working part-time on benefits due to severe health issues, and finally, I was able to get off benefits as my workplace is super considerate and flexible like that. By the way, this comes from Interesting Draft 65, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit where this story is from.
What? No way.
It's one of our own.
What?
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't know much. Whatever you know, put it in atomized lists down below in the comments, and I will read those in bullet point form, please.
Sure.
Opie says, I'm super keen on progressing, and I'm passionate about what I do and know where I want to head. I have had unfortunate situations throughout my life. I've struggled with my mental health, and now I'm in a really good place in my life. So, story time. Any projects? I say yes. I'm quick to help everyone to the point of my managers having to tell me to have time off because I'm working too hard and don't take leave. I'm known to be the first person to help and do things and be super nice. But this is where the problem started. When I first started, it was not fun at all. My first week, I had to be trained, and a colleague, let's call her Claire, wouldn't train me. One day, she blew up on me at the office. Most people work from home, so there was just me and Claire. This was number one. No witnesses, and I had to raise it with management. It went nowhere. Anyway,
Dang.
I continued working, and within a year, I had already been promoted, and a lot of people started to know who I was. I love getting to know people and understanding what others do in their roles. It helps me explain to staff when things aren't quite going right or to decrease tensions between departments. Yeah, that's like my uncle. I worked with him. He used to work for UPS. He's like, don't do this in your job. Don't be
Like tunnel vision.
like, all I do is host.
Yeah.
And all I do is commentate. It's like, no.
Yeah.
What do the editors need from me? What does, operations need from me? What can I do best to help people out?
Where do I want to be in the future?
Yeah. And you put yourselves to become legit, undisposable, because you know so much information in the company and you know how to help out.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's
that's great.
it's
It's good advice.
yeah, it helps you a lot. And it sounds like this is what you've done, OP. In January, I had to have a discussion about moving offices because I had ended my 5-year relationship. It had gotten really toxic. I couldn't wear what I wanted to the office, and I could not go on work nights out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is getting tough.
I cannot go out on work.
I wasn't allowed to talk to people. It was really bad. I know how that feels.
No. We're not like that.
Sometimes in the office, I don't know who, said I was lying about moving so I didn't have to go in and raised a complaint against me. Ridiculous, I know, and it went no further because it was stupid. 2 months ago, Jamie micromanaged me to the point I got someone to speak to this person because I couldn't do a thing right. It was causing me so much stress, and I didn't want to work. Now the big ones. So we already got like 2 instances
Yeah.
that seem, or 4. I don't know. How many did you count?
I wasn't counting.
There was so many.
But yeah.
Yeah, just so many little things. Ugh.
Enough to create a hostile work environment. I mean, even just that one when like they were the only ones in the office and she
Yelled
like
at you?
blew up at you. Yeah. Like, what is that about?
That's weird.
We need to start recording things.
As much as I've wanted to yell at certain people here, just don't do it. Well, like, you know, it's like, not like yelling at them because like they're bad. It's just like, oh my God, the computer.
Oh, yeah.
Ah!
Right.
And it's like,
like,
it's just a thing.
even if you're like yelling at technical issues, it still creates kind of an uncomfortable work environment. 'Cause
Yeah.
no one wants to be around yelling, even if it's not at them, you know?
It's hard not to
Yeah.
some days.
Some days. Sometimes we do.
I had a complaint raised against me 3 days ago for bullying in the workplace.
Or you're the bully?
Susan told management that I said she couldn't do her job, that she didn't know how to manage her team, and other stuff that hasn't been disclosed to me. The situation: a member of her team breached data due to an error from another employee. I had flagged this with Susan, and Susan asked for a call. We called, and I explained what had happened and how I had supported the team member. Susan was super happy with the outcome. Susan then advised me that this person had no support and had spent the last 3 months on her own, as she started later than the new group and was in the office alone. Then I spoke to a few people about how we could provide her better in-person support, as her confidence had lowered due to the data issue and other issues that occurred on the same day. I had messaged Susan and I said I had an idea. We called again and I said I'd be happy to go in on the days the team member was in, since I am based in the office she was in and everyone else in the other office, which is 3 hours away. I said I don't want someone to be away from the team while they are learning and building confidence. The call was good. So it sounds like you're brainstorming and bringing good ideas.
Yeah. You're trying to problem solve this problem.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
We were laughing about things happening at work and our other plans for the weekend. It ended on a really strong note. The next day, Susan wasn't in. And then Tuesday this week, I got a call from my manager to tell me Susan had raised a complaint against my conduct. I was baffled. A fake friend.
What? She was a spy.
This is weird.
Sabotage. She was just a minion for Claire.
I was asked to provide all evidence I could regarding the call. I sent screenshots from the conversations with her colleagues and a message I had sent about calling to provide support. I detailed what was disclosed and the outcome. False accusations have a big impact on people, so I even drafted a policy change to protect others from what is happening with me. From there, I had nothing. No communication, zero support, and just stewing on this complaint. I have been told not to speak to anyone at work about it. Yet Susan is getting all the support, and I'm just sitting there wondering how this is going to impact me. I'm speechless.
Yeah, it's frustrating. You're doing everything right. Claire is the one who started all of this. Susan, you thought was on your side. And now you've been sabotaged, betrayed.
My manager says it won't because there is not enough evidence of the interaction. Will it still be on my record? I spoke to a friend. How is it fair to keep this all in and she gets to talk about it? She attacked me as the person I am under false accusations. The friend I spoke to said she has done it because I'm a threat. No one has progressed as quickly as me, apparently, even though I'm not sure how to handle it and I'm not sure what to do now. Do I just keep away from her and communicate with my manager if I need to speak to her? Do I avoid all contact? I've been offered another role. Should I take it? It removes me from the department, but I love my job. I don't know what to do.
Wow.
I'm gonna let it ride for a little bit.
Yeah.
And as a professional note, in your young age, I would just soak up as much information as you can. Don't worry about getting as much money. Wherever puts you in a exponentially learning environment, stay there. Because as soon as you hit, your 30s, you can then transition to making money off of all the things you've learned.
Totally. Yeah. You might really just need to keep your head down for a bit. And then if you get a chance to where something else happens and it's like you can actually say something or you have proof of your conversation or something, then maybe you can bring it up again.
Yeah.
And this sabotage maybe Even when you think you're talking to a friend, you'll have to record your conversation. I think some of this happened via email or text or something. So, like, I'm sure you could screenshot something.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. She got a little bit of evidence, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Yesterday, people were talking about how great it is to work here and how everyone gets along with everyone. Why am I the only one facing these issues? I did think maybe I'm doing something wrong. A few people have said people feel threatened by nice people because they think people can't be as nice as me. The fact is, that's just naturally how I am. I naturally care about everyone. So I guess it's good to know people see me as a nice and caring person. And a nice and caring thing you can do as a person is going to your favorite podcast platform, searching about OK Storytime, and listening to more stories like this on Apple, iHeartRadio, or Spotify. I would love to give you my thoughts about who you are personally so we can get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
But sadly, you're not here for me to do so.
I don't know you personally.
Because you can kind of get a vibe of someone and who they are by just meeting them. And over text is a little hard, but
Yeah.
you can get a vibe of who someone is. It just sounds like you're doing a great job and people just feel threatened.
Yeah. I really want to know like what field of work you're in.
Yeah.
Because if it's like a high stress, high competitive work environment, like I could see that happening where people like this are kind of like on edge by everyone. Like, oh, if you're new and you're already so good, like I got to watch out for you.
Yeah.
Or if you're being nice, oh my gosh, you probably mean that in some sort of passive aggressive way because no one here is that nice, you know? Like if they're used to a bunch of like really honest people or something and like blunt, harsh. I really wonder. That would just explain some things.
I have asked if we can have a meeting, including my manager and her manager, so I can make any reasonable adjustments on how we communicate so she doesn't feel attacked. Although I know 100% that what I said couldn't have any implications to affect her. I never even mentioned her. I just said solely my idea to provide additional support to the team member, which as a manager is acceptable to do. It could in no way be misconstructed. I have no support. I'm on my own on this one. Why do people keep having a problem with me? What should I do? I'm worried this will impact me trying to progress. And as Taylor Swift says,
Shake it off?
and haters gonna hate.
Okay. Did not know where you were going with that. I'm sure there's so many lines that you could use.
She's a wonder of many hits. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna, upset you, your progression. You got offered another role.
Yeah, I think just in the people that you meet, just try to be nice to them. Try to open communication if they think there's some sort of problem, if they think you insulted them somehow, and just kind of keep your head down. There's at a certain point, I mean, it sucks because it's in your literal workplace, but at a certain point, there's kind of not really anything that you can do. If your coworkers just don't like you, just make sure you know that your boss is chill with you.
That's just so snake of Susan do that.
You're like a sliver little snake.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
I could play those games if I wanted, but it doesn't get you anywhere.
Yeah.
This will not impact Susan at all.
Yeah.
The truth will be found.
Right.
The hiring manager where I have an interview is someone I fired last year.
That's a weird power complex.
I, 30s female, hired a girl, 30s female, over the summer. She didn't make it through her probationary period. She came highly recommended by her references. She was a fast learner, had worked through a merger, and helped it go through seamlessly. She was terrible at her job with my company and fired her on her 89th day.
Fair.
You hired her the day before her probationary period ended?
It's a strategic tactic, nothing personal.
On her exit interview, she stated that she felt she had been poorly trained and that my temper made her worried about asking for further training, stating that I blew up on her when she asked for clarification on something a few weeks in. She then packed her things and left without so much as another word.
Okay, so I see flaws on both sides here.
Yeah, I'm starting to. I found out through a mutual friend the day she was fired, she was offered her job back with a $3 an hour raise and added responsibilities, despite having quit just days into her 2 weeks' notice. Okay, buddy, you can't pull that because you did the scumbag move of firing her the day before she became an actual employee. I feel like that was probably a rug pull type of move.
Doesn't sound like you're a good manager, honestly. Are you working with people or are you working people? That's the question I always ask myself.
Boom! Boom! Boom!
Sometimes you get to work on it. That's fun.
Oh God. Well, my boss had to lay us all off because of recent events. When I called and got an interview, The woman who spoke to me said that the hiring manager / trainer would be seeing me in the office despite it being closed and everyone working remotely. I was given her name and I instantly felt sick because it was her.
Uh-oh.
I didn't realize the company had changed their name since I had seen her resume.
Dang, what comes around usually gets put on your back.
Yeah. No.
What?
No. Comes back around.
That's not how I heard it.
Coming around the back. Should I even go to the interview? I admit I do have a pretty bad temper that she had witnessed within days of being hired, but I was great at my job. It doesn't sound like it. I know her company is desperately hiring workers to meet demand, and I need the job. By the way, this comes from user Throwaway a Job Seeker. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Riley.
I'm Carly.
And we are here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so tell us what you would do in the comments.
I say that's someone with the worst temper ever. Go for it.
What? You said you have a bad temper?
Oh, yeah. Don't I?
No.
Okay, thank God. Whew. I was just
That was
using
a test.
I was just using that as a, I don't even know. Okay.
I was like, what are you talking about? I don't even know when I've seen you genuinely like raise your voice about anything.
Oh, yeah. I haven't used that one yet. I forgot I could pull that card.
The yelling card?
But I think you should go. And I think you could say, hey, I've noticed in the past my temper and I really want to change that. And I feel like this place will give me a clean slate. I think you can work the hiring process. I love the interviews.
Bro, I think you should just go in there and face the freaking music. I think you should go there and see what happens.
Yeah. But
you're being scared. You're being a little scaredy cat. Oh, do I even go? What if she doesn't like me? You know she doesn't like you.
Yeah, you probably aren't going to get hired, but you need a job. So, Carly, you going?
Yeah, just to see what happens.
Yeah, for the drama, for the update.
We've got some comments. Comment 1 says, there's also some useful commentary where this was shared on Twitter, relationship advice. One of the biggest things is that a person on their probationary period needs support, which you gave the opposite of, showing your temper, and feedback to improve. It sounds like all you gave was criticism, waiting purposefully until the last possible day to fire with no consequences, and then blaming her for leaving a couple days into her 2 weeks notice after you fired her. Oh my goodness, you live in a fantasy world. The fact that she was immediately rehired with a raise while you're unemployed gives you no place to have the gall to say she was a bad fit. She outlasted you. The company invested more money in her not to lose her because she's exactly what they want and need. And you're still blaming your bad training on her fit. Go to the job interview. It will go one of 4 ways. Also, I think this person's a little confused and thinks that she got rehired to the original company that she was working for. She left the company. She got fired by OP, went back to her old company immediately, and they gave her a raise.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That part, yeah, that's what I thought too.
That's what happened. And I think for some reason, yeah, that must have got crossed up for the commenter.
Or us. We never know.
Well, because everyone got laid off that's why OP has her job.
Oh, that's right.
Everyone got laid off.
That's right.
So if she's the hiring manager, she's not working in the same place.
That makes sense.
Anyway, so you go to the job interview. It will go one of 4 ways. The good ending is you reflected on how bad you were and resolved to be better, and she has more integrity than you and gives you a chance to prove your change. 2 is the petty ending. How you do in the job interview barely matters. You are capable enough to be hired, but the plan is to accumulate evidence for a justifiable or not, because who cares, firing on your 89th day. 3 is the bad ending. You never had a shot at hiring for any number of reasons. Maybe mishandling the interview, maybe your temper, maybe your inability to tell the difference between a good and bad job. And the catastrophic bad ending is she is willing to give you a fair shot that you barely gave to her, but you insist on your BS of talking down to her, calling your peer a girl, acting like temper is justifiable in a workplace, and generally make your toxicity other people's problems because you haven't grown up. OP responds, she's not with my company, but her previous employer.
Bro, that was literally you 5 minutes ago.
I know.
No joke.
I know. My company went under due to the vid.
Cough, cough.
Fizz, fizz. I mean, no, that's plop, plop. Never mind.
I love the part where they were like, oh, hopefully this works out. They just came there to correct them. Showing that you haven't learned it all, OP. You went to Reddit just to waste time.
Comment 2. Maybe this experience will teach you how to treat people in positions below you. You never know when those people might one day be above you, and you will regret having behaved so awfully. Comment 3 says, you blew up at someone at work and didn't sincerely apologize for your actions. This is karma. And we have the update, folks. I think she got hired.
She got hired and then was put as an assistant so this person can torment them every day.
I think so. And they won't. They'll just be like a good boss, probably.
Yeah, I've had to like go through the parts of like finding people to add to the team. It's tricky because you got to like see how they fit. This one though, this like working here is like a very chemistry based thing that if you aren't chemicalizing with people, it's not going to work out.
Chemically intertwined.
Yeah, like those Avatar people. But like this one being like, I'm assuming they work at a factory, so the chemistry aspect probably doesn't matter as much, and it's more like meeting quota rather than,
Why,
you know,
what, you went to
vibes.
factory immediately?
They're hiring a lot of people and they're needing jobs. That's my thought. She is a hiring manager. That means they hire a lot of people. Usually just the manager handles hiring people.
I've worked at a lot of places that have hiring managers for office settings. Mr. Manager, Mr. Manager.
My brother went to a hiring manager and he worked at a factory though. That's my assumption.
I hope they're at the... Dang it. No, that would be a free sponsor. Okay.
What?
We have an update.
Okay.
Update 2 days later. I got a lot of good feedback, and you guys are right.
Wait, time out. Opie said we were right? This is a huge step for this person. Holy cow.
I think it could be. I did let my temper get the best of me in front of her on multiple occasions, and that makes me a bad boss. I went to her office unsure of what to expect. The door was locked when I got there, so I stood outside waiting. She came up behind me and said my name. She asked me if I was ready to interview, and I just said yes. We sat down in her office, and she pulled out her phone and started recording. She asked me if I minded being taped, and I said no. She asked me basic interview questions, and then she asked me if there was anything that I knew I had to work on. I told her that my temper was an issue in the past, but that I've had a sudden wake-up call about my temper, and that I was actively working on it.
How did I call that?
Honestly, bro, like, if I hear you say that, I'm not giving you the job.
Yeah, no.
To be like, oh yeah, when I realized you were interviewing me, I had a sudden wake up call in the last day and a half that I really should work on it, and I have been. It's like, you were almost there, and you almost had it.
Low key, if you tell a story about how you're going to change your temper, that could work. Like, oh, I was being really mean to like a parent of mine, and they passed away. I'm not going to be mean to people anymore. That's a very dramatic and dark one, but I feel like that gets the point across a little bit more.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah. You low-key need a miracle. I'm not seeing a miracle here.
Yeah, so if you get the job, I think you'll probably just like not change that much. But hey, the journey of 1,000,000,000,000,000 miles starts with one little baby step, or whatever they say. So okay.
I thought it was to reach 1,000,000 steps, you still need to take one step.
Oh, I don't think that's it.
I read that poster wrong.
I think it's the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Boom.
Ah!
Boom.
Wait, the one I read was 10,000
10,000
miles. Yeah.
And I would walk 10,000 meters.
Don't make it imperial. No, wait. Don't make it metric.
That's just 10K. It's like I would walk a 10K and then I would walk another one.
Anyways. Bring it back.
So I told her I had my wake-up call about my temper and that I was actively working on it. I apologized for leaving her hanging with training and that I was glad to see she was in a better position. She told me that one of the things she had learned was forgiveness.
Oh, you guys are kind of flirting. Stop.
She had left the company she was at and rehired to because they had wronged her during the merger.
Oh.
When she was offered the position back, it was with an apology, a raise, and now she's in a better position than when she left. She said sometimes an apology can start you down the path towards something better. She told me that she is willing to hire me for a good wage because she knew I was good at a lot of things at my previous job. She said if I lost my temper during the trial period, it would be the end. But she was hopeful that it wouldn't happen. She asked me if I could start Friday.
We did it!
I knew you were going to get that job.
OP.
I freaking knew it. You know what else I freaking know, man? You can listen to full episodes with stories just like this on your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime, and you can listen to every single freaking episode we've ever uploaded. Basically, man, woman, person,
dog,
ka-chow,
fish,
shapow,
cat, other pet animal,
frog.
Cats listen to our podcast.
Newt.
I know you didn't say cat.
I did say cat.
Cow.
Sorry, I feel like there are more cats than cattle that watch. Actually, if we have one farmer and they have a bunch of cattle, that might actually tip the scales here.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know how many cattle people usually have? Like 100 to
You know how many
150?
cats some people have?
That is true. Okay, I'll take that. That's where I'm from. Something, if I was this hiring manager, some things I need to know is OP, that the person that wrote this, are they male or female?
They're both ladies.
Both ladies? Okay, because I feel like if it was a guy losing his temper in front of a woman, it would be a little bit of a different thing than a woman. I am assuming, but I would feel a little like...
Why would that be different to you?
Because...
Probably scarier.
I just wanted to know if that was the
Yeah,
reason.
I think...
I'm not judging you. I'm
scarier.
genuinely curious.
It's
Yeah.
probably scary.
Because if, like, to be honest, if Dakota yelled at me versus Carly, I'd probably feel a little bit more like, oh, Dakota, whoa, man. Rather than Carly, like, oh, Carly, ah. But
That's funny because I feel like the opposite.
Because
Really?
it
I
would
feel
take
like
a
if it's
lot
the
more to get
opposite-
me to yell, so I think it would be scarier if you got me to that point.
I feel like for men it's scarier when ladies yell, and for ladies it's scarier when
now-
men yell.
now that I'm thinking, it is also person to person. Because if my mom yells at me, it affects me more than if, like, my dad would. Okay, anyways. So we got that out of the way. And two, what are they hiring for? I really want to know that part. Because if it's not chemistry-based at all, I don't think it really matters. And they laid it out well, that if they lost their temper, capiche.
Yeah. Yeah, I think OP's probably maybe going to lose their temper and then lose their job. But that's
On the
neither here nor
89th
there.
day.
So,
Or...
she's going to be like, oh, no, your probationary period was 100 days, not 90 days. She's going to throw a temper tantrum on the 91st day. Anyway, she started training me today, and I definitely realized I was the problem and why she didn't succeed where I was. She is absolutely wonderful at the job with great client interactions. She should have been able to easily pick up the work I was throwing at her if she had been properly trained. I'm glad that she gave the company a second chance because she deserves everything they have given her. I hope to learn a lot from her and show her that she didn't waste her time on me. I've also signed up for therapy to manage my anger online. Top comments. Number 1. Now this is wholesome. I hope you do actually go to anger management classes, OP. Best of luck to you. Comment 2 says, it takes a lot to swallow your pride and admit you were wrong. Well done, OP. Comment 3, I am glad that this worked out for you. I am glad that you went through with it. And I am glad that she took you. You are very lucky. I wish you the best. I probably would not have gone through with it. And that's the end of the story.
Took a lot of courage, but also I think desperation was on your side, too.
Yeah, I mean, hey, after that stunt you pulled flying on the 89th day, I gotta say, I wouldn't hire you.
Yeah.
89th day is like, bro, I don't want that energy anywhere around me. You fired me on the 89th day.
Think about it, though. Think about it, though. OP did this person a favor in a roundabout way. She got back at her job, better position, better wage, and she's not at a job where they just let go of everyone. She's scrambling to find something.
That is
OP kind of did her a
theoretically
favor.
true. Yeah, that's the Chinese horse fable.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
never know. You never know what's actually good or bad
You don't? And,
because you don't know what's going to happen.
yeah. So I could see in a way where that hiring manager's like, you know what? Actually, thank you. Thank you for firing. Thank you for being a terrible manager so I couldn't succeed at my job and setting me up for failure.
Yes, because now I have better job. And now you are jobbing at my job.
Jobbing it. I'm jobbing it.
No!
Last time you got a job?
Me?
Yeah.
About a year, 2 months ago.
Last week for me.
You got a job last week?
Yeah. Cutting firewood.
Because you were back home.
My employee quit after I spent thousands accommodating her special needs.
Well, that's sometimes what happens.
Sorry, it said they've decided to move back down to Cornwall with family. Wait,
yeah,
what?
that's why they quit. So the original title's a bit more descriptive. If you want me to read that real fast.
Yeah, read
It's
the original
long.
title. Yeah.
The original title is I spend 17,900. I think it's
Just put like round it up.
euros or pounds.
18,000 euros.
18,000 euros or pounds. Converting aspects of my
It's,
office,
I think,
break
pounds.
room, desk, elevator, and disabled bathroom to make it accessible for an employee with a disability who requested these changes. They left 2 weeks after the work was finished. Can I go after them for some cost in small claims court?
Probably not, but I bet you can go after the state or the government. you know.
Okay.
I think they're in England or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think those pounds. 'Cause
Okay.
Cornwall's in
Yeah.
England.
So they've decided to move back down to Cornwall with family. Another staff member who she was friendly with said she'd been planning to leave since August. This means that this staff member knew they weren't going to be around to use the adjustments. By the way, this comes from Antique Bet 35. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to our fabulous r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Riley.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
And our job is to give good advice in a goofily manner to you. Your job? Type in the comments your expertise on your thoughts on this. Because none of us are handicapped and we don't know how to feel about this. So.
Well, you have dyslexia.
But that's like a mental one. It's not like I can't walk because I'm dyslexic.
I don't think it
Yet.
said that they were.
That can happen soon.
I'm
Okay,
just gonna like write a bunch of words and letters,
No.
numbers on the ground wherever you go. So you'll be like,
Guys, I couldn't make it to work today. I read all the signs wrong.
I don't know where I am.
Where am I? Oh man.
We can say that. We're allowed to make fun of dyslexia. He is dyslexic.
A little.
That's what I think of him as that first.
Can we get a test? Can we get a doctor here to diagnose me on stream?
What do you wait, what?
Can we get a doctor here
Have
to
you
diagnose
never
me?
had a diagnosis for
I
dyslexia?
read it online and like everything made a lot of sense. It was like, oh, that's why I get you know how like you ask me questions sometimes and I get a little frantic. Apparently that's a side effect of having dyslexia.
Huh.
Right? Isn't that weird? It's like I feel pressured to know all the answers because every time I did like those English tests, you know, those like English tests where you read it and you're supposed to like answer, what's the theme of this story? I'd always do bad at those because I didn't like have reading comprehension. I was just trying to read it and I didn't understand it till I do that.
What's the theme of the story? Words.
Yeah.
Sounds.
So now since my brain's developed, that I somehow associated with that. That's my guess. Anyway, sorry. I went on a little rant there. I spent a load of money renovating an old elevator, lowering countertops in the break room to make them accessible, and getting a special desk area to help with their disability. Sorry. I was just, my solution to this is like, just make them a special area instead of renovating everything. Just like, hey, here you go. You
out
can hang out
front.
here.
Like we made we have a tent for you out front you can be in, and we'll install one of those we'll get like 2 cans and put a string between them, and we'll like talk to each other.
I'm losing it, guys.
Kim, fine. He read it online, but it said something else because he's dyslexic.
It's like this whole time you've been diabetic.
That's good. Oh man. These are all things which they requested along with the doctor's note explaining their disability with a copy of their PIP decision and a copy of their PIP decision, which showed they were awarded standards daily living and why. Editor's note, personal independence payment, UK welfare benefit to help with extra living costs for people with a physical or mental health condition or disability. We met several times through August and September to discuss their needs and whether there were any compromises I could make to reduce the cost. She stated there weren't. So he's asking like, hey, this is going to take a lot to know,
It's like, hey, I'm going to drop 18 big ones. You think is there anything I can do to not have to drop that much money? And they're just like, no, you're going to have to do that for me.
And it would make sense if you're like a big corporation. But if you're a small business, I feel like that you should get some compensation.
Yeah, I feel like there's got to be some sort of recourse with the government here where it's like, yeah, I did all this stuff to be in accordance with like whatever they needed, and then they just left.
Yeah.
Is there any, can I be compensated in any way for that?
So it seems like she was hired in August or September. Never once did she mention that she was leaving in November. Work finished on the 10th of November. She resigned on Friday the 21st without any notice. I don't want to sound spiteful, but is there any way I can reclaim any of these costs? The disabled bathroom had to be widened and have special rails fitted to accommodate them. Additionally, a special desk was purchased for them and break room counters were lowered. None of these things actually benefit any of my other staff members who aren't disabled. The whole budget that would have gone on Christmas bonuses has been completely blown on someone who wasn't even intending to stay with us. I do have emails from the staff member to her friend where she discussed moving back with her family in Cornwall and her plans. It's crystal clear that she was intending to leave in November. I've got that in writing. It's worth noting that one reason behind these high costs was I had to pay a premium to get the work done quickly. While this was happening, I permitted this staff member to work from home as and when they needed to in line with their disabilities. I never required them to come into the office until the accommodation work was done. Well, I just want to say you were very thoughtful in this. And this is quite a pickle.
A pickle we found. I don't know. I think
I say sue him.
Yeah, if you can try to recoup any of it, be like, dude, you had me do all this stuff. You were only going to work here for 3 months, and you had me spend everyone's Christmas bonuses on accommodations for you that you don't need because you knew you were leaving.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we talking about?
I would like to know what this work is, because you can now have someone else that's disabled. If it's like primarily not a physical labor job.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, something could have been worked out where it's like, okay, well, if you can't really access the office, like maybe we get you a remote position or something. I don't know what the work is, but it's like, yeah, if you're going to blow 18 grand on somebody, it's because you're expecting them to be around for a while, not because, it's like, oh yeah, oh, for sure. A couple months, 2.5 months, moving back to Cornwall. You're a cornball for that, bro.
Yeah. Duchess says, honestly, you need to consult a lawyer about all of this. Yeah. Talk to a lawyer. I think that's the best first move to do. An are there occupational lawyers, Carly?
What?
Like occupational lawyers or like disability occupational lawyers?
There's lawyers that'll specialize in that kind of stuff.
Do lawyers always be specializing in something?
I need to get a crime lawyer.
Ooh, what
crime has befallen you?
Batman. Vigilanteism.
Anonymous was just here.
I need to get a crime doctor too.
Crime doctor?
I mean, sorry, crime lawyer.
Crime lawyer, crime doctor?
Yeah,
You're like a mafia doctor?
Because someone stole my heart.
What do they call a mafia doctor? A veterinarian. Hey. Because they don't go to the doctor, they go to the vet.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Because they don't go to the hospital.
I was just thinking of that one scene in Godfather where a vet probably had to help out.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Whitney has some insights here. All right, that's too much. I can't read that.
I was scrolling to read something of my own. I wasn't pointing that out. Sorry.
Okay, cool. So we got some relevant comments here. People probably give us some insights. Comment 1. So was this a job that could have been done from home? Opie says, not fully. We operate on a 3-2. What?
Right, 3 days in the office, 2 days at home, probably.
Yeah.
Or 3 days
Oh, a
at home,
hybrid.
2
Okay.
days in the office.
We operate on a hybrid model of 3 days in the office, 2 at home. She was fully remote given her disability, with staff in the office picking up things she couldn't do remotely. Commenter 2, it doesn't seem like a crime has been committed here, not even a civil one. They haven't misrepresented anything, nor entered into a contract that required them to pay for it. You have done everything in line with the EQ Act of 2010. Editor's note, the UK Act, the Equality Act 2010 legally protects people from discrimination in the workplace and in wider society. I'm not getting any of that here. I need to move to the UK. I get discriminated every day. Riley, read this word.
You don't have an official
No,
diagnosis
It wasn't
anymore.
pie, it
Wow,
was
and they make
ba.
fun of me for not figuring out how to get one. Sorry, it's hard to read notes and give it to people to write on them.
Bro, you know how to, what?
Doctor's notes.
You
What
gotta go to a doctor.
is making you write the doctor's notes?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You went to a
It's a
funny
little hard to
North
figure
Carolina
out.
doctor.
All the online research I've looked at, it's a little hard to
Just a
read.
guy drinking
okay?
hooch in the woods. He's like, yeah, write whatever you want.
He's been, those are a little harder to find than you would think. You could write
Hooch doctors in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go deep into the Appalachians for those boys.
You could write this off as renovations and put it in your job advertisement, disability-friendly office, lift, disabled toilet, etc., etc. And if you sell the building, if it is yours to sell, later down the line, you could advertise that as the part of the sale. Oh, that's true. Most likely avenue I'll go down.
Yeah, man, you can just recoup your
Mhm.
investment in, a future sale of your assets.
I'm just furious and upset right now. The whole team and I bent over backwards for her. She used it once when I told her the renovations were complete and she needed to start working the hybrid model of 3 days in the office, 2 days at home with her colleagues. Then she just left. She really put me and her colleagues under immense pressure to accommodate her. Her teammates had to do things that needed doing around the office. They drove stuff out to her house when she asked for it. We're all just disgusted by her behavior.
I mean, it really sounds like she could have just stayed remote the entire time.
Yeah.
Especially if she would have just told you she's going back to Cornwall in November. It's like, oh, then we'll just keep you on as remote until you're done working here. Why would we redo the entire building? Or not the whole building, but, why would we do like 18,000 pounds worth of renovations when you're not going to work here and you can do your job remote?
Yeah. Commenter 3, emphasis on the reasonable adjustments. If OP didn't think they were reasonable, it should have been said when they were requested. As the employee has been working from home for several months as needed, that could have been made a long-term reasonable adjustment versus the costly adjustments in office. I assume OP has a reason for this, but I can't think what it would. These aren't even words. But I
work from
Work
home
from
and
home.
PRN.
and corn? Work from home corn? Is this what this is?
Professional research
What is this?
neuropathy. I don't know.
Is this a corn site? Are we talking about a corn site right now?
No.
It means as the situation arises. It means pro re not in Latin. As the situation arises.
But I can't think of what it would be if WFH PRN has been managed successfully for her so long. Obi says her colleagues have been doing the parts of her job that need to be done in the office. The agreement was that she'd be back on a 3 days in the office, 2 days at home when the renovations were complete. Opie explains more about the emails between the staff member and her friend about moving, the adjustments in the office, and the Christmas bonuses. The emails were sent out on her office Outlook system, supplied by a staff member she was friends with who is now furious at her because the Xmas bonus has been spent on this. I usually give all my staff £1,000 to £2,000 extra at Christmas, depending on how well we do. This nonsense has left us with no spare cash to do anything more than maybe £50 each. I'm furious and embarrassed about this. 15 staff members are going without a £1,000 Christmas bonus because she lied that we needed these accommodations made. I have email receipts proving she was never going to be using them. In September, she sent an email to her friend confirming she was going to Cornwall in November. Despite this, she kept pushing for adjustments to be made during this time and stated she could not come into the office until they were complete. She never mentioned to me once that she was going to be leaving. I have an idea. Hey guys, we're going to do a car wash raising money for the disabled. And then use all that money you spent for bonuses for people because you are basically, in a way, paying for renovations in the office.
So you want them to work for their Christmas bonus.
So you're pro.
It would be a team effort. It would
They'd be
prorating.
working extra. So you'd
okay,
also
but
have
it's
to
going to
pay
be
them.
fun.
How hot is the car wash?
It's in the UK,
It's
bro.
Christmas. It's going to be so cold.
Okay, we're going to shovel for people. I don't know, just car wash.
I'm not doing any manual labor for my job
I
or
don't
know,
a
man.
Christmas bonus.
What about cooking? Cook,
It just
soup
feels
cook.
so gross, bro. Like this person clearly was on some sort of like,
Power trip.
yeah, or like, I don't know. Power trip is the thing that makes the most sense.
I'm curious how they had been getting treated in the office, though, because this, to me, seems like it was coming from something that we're not seeing.
I don't even think they were treated anyway in the office because I don't think they were in the office.
Yeah.
I think they were doing remote.
And
Yeah.
OP wants them to be in the office because they don't want to be like, oh, you have a disability, you have to work from home.
And
They want to
yeah.
be accommodating in that way.
And then she's like, well, I can't work in the office till you do these things.
Right.
Which is,
And then it's like it doesn't matter because you're only going to be here for 3 months.
well, that was hidden though.
Right.
My whole
so
thing,
it's,
though,
why
is he's
didn't you
like
just say
complaining.
that?
He's like complaining, oh, the other employees have to pick up slack because you're working from home. It's like, well, yeah, that's her accommodation, is the other
Yeah.
employees will
But
have to drive
whole,
that stuff
the
out.
whole reason that was a problem is because she didn't say she was leaving. So OP's working under the assumption that it's like, this is the situation forever.
Yeah.
So if it was
I'm
just
not
going to be the
disagreeing with
situation
you
for 3 months.
on that part, but it's like it could have very easily just been like, oh yeah, this is the accommodation for her working from home, and we
I'm
could have
just-
just
yeah,
left it
like,
at
what-
that.
Time out. What do you answer that smell scam?
Yeah.
Hear me out.
I think I'm going to hear you.
Wait, you got it?
I think so.
What is it?
No, yeah, you go first.
No,
I'll
you
see if
go.
I line up. I think, who knows? Maybe she's in with the contracting company that does all this stuff. I mean, it's a stretch, but like, are they based in Cornwall?
Oh, looks like the job's going to be done at the end of October. I'm going to leave in November. Find another job that needs to meet these requirements. A little sloppy though, if that's the reason. But that's on the table.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
Because like if
it'd
you've been doing,
it'd be pretty hard to keep that
Well,
like
if this-
anonymous though. You know, like
The same company gets hired. Every
yeah, it's like
time.
how do you control like that they even pick the company that maybe just who knows?
well, she's a pro. She knows those answers.
They're pros. They're
Yeah.
pros over there in Cornwall.
All right, comment 4. Why didn't you just let them permanently work remote? You did this to yourself by requiring them to report to the office. No. OP says because her colleagues were having to do the aspects of her job on her site that she wasn't coming in for. She also used to work in an office full-time pre-vid. she was one employee who refused to move hybrid with the others. Commenter 5 says, just to be a little different here, just want to say, what an effort. Lots of time, money, and effort, and for what feels right now for nothing. Lots of good advice here, but just wanted to validate your feelings of frustration and bewilderment. Let's hope they don't ask for a reference. This definitely feels unfair. Hopefully, a lot of the work can be tax deductible, maybe. Opie says, yeah, it's all business expense. I'd still rather have given that money to my staff, though. I feel like complete crap not giving Christmas bonus this year. That's why I'm up at 2 a.m. looking to see what I can do. I can probably manage 200 pounds each from my personal savings and add on some extra by taking her payroll, maybe 500 pounds if I'm lucky. Okay, cool. You probably could. Comment 6 says, you are out of luck then. Sounds like the job can be just done as easily from home, and at your arbitrary demand to make someone work from an office is a 17,000 pound. How do you 17,000 pound?
Yeah.
And your arbitrary demand to make someone work from an office instead is a 17,000 pound mistake on your part. It's tough to feel sorry for you because of all of this could have been avoided if you would simply acted reasonable to begin with.
No, commenter, you're wrong. This person is acting under the assumption this person is going to be working here
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah. Okay, commenter, here you
But-
go. Oh, go ahead, Carly.
No, because my thing is, though, like, when it came down to, like, okay, I will be working here for a long time, if those accommodations were too much to put in, the other accommodation is you can keep working at home and I don't have to do any of this contracting work and I can just pay one person a little bit more for having to do the other little things in the office.
True, but
Like, there wasn't that need to do it because there was the workaround that she can work from home, which is how he's going to get screwed of not getting that money back.
that's true. But I think reading OP here, he's a team player and he wants his team to be with him because he's really upset that he's not going to be able to give his team bonuses.
But at the end of the day, it's just a law, too. If she asks it like that, he has to do it.
Well,
That's the thing. If she asked, one of his valid options would have just been, oh, we'll just keep you remote then.
But
and
if
he
he-
just has to deal with the
Well,
fact
no,
that
'cause
not everyone's going to be in the
even
office.
if he does that, as soon as she asks, then she goes, "Oh, well, now I feel like I'm being made to be different than the rest of my employees
But
because
I don't
have
think
to
she
work
ever
from
said
home."
that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying
that
she
was
could
probably
say that
what was
Could,
going to
but
happen.
she didn't. We don't know that that's what she was going to do.
I think that was a card she
I
could've
think
played.
she
that was
probably
the
just
whole
wanted to
problem
keep working from
Is
home.
nobody knew what she was going to do.
Yeah. So we had to
And
make
if she
these
wanted to
changes.
work remote, she could have kept her job and worked in freaking Cornwall.
I don't know.
It's weird. It's like she kept that a secret on purpose.
She planned it.
It's weird. And it is like, it feels like something she did to get like vengeance on somebody, because there is now, we know that she worked in the office full time and there weren't these accommodations. And so it feels like this is some sort of like FU before she leaves.
Yeah. So OP says there are aspects which can only be done in person. I don't want to risk identifying my business, but it can only be done partially remote. Even during the lockdown, we needed 3 to 4 staff members rotating into the site. And we have an update. I just think OP is a team player and he wants her to feel included on the team, and her just working remote would have been like, it's a temporary solve, but not a full-time solve. Because I don't want you to feel bad for being different. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. It's
I just don't think that's like a valid excuse on OP's part.
Well, you would have saved 18,000 pounds if it was you.
I don't know.
I think we're missing some conversation from the story, basically.
No, I'm fully saying that the employee is entirely in the wrong. I mean, like, because you guys,
Yeah.
if I was going to move out of town, I wouldn't secretly do it and then leave you guys like, where's Dakota? And like, oh no, he quit over the break. We lost like our host. And it's like, what? Like, what do we do? Like, and you guys didn't even but it's just like, it's that element that's making me go like, what is the motivation behind doing this?
Yeah.
And I think you are right, though. There is something we're missing. And I think something
That's what I think
happened
we're missing,
in the
though.
office that
Right.
made her want to like screw them over.
I think
But I
we're
don't even
missing
know
a
if
lot of
OP knows.
context between
I don't
OP
even know
and
if
boss.
OP knows, though, because
Yeah.
it could have happened with anybody in the office.
What are you saying, Carly?
That I agree. I think something happened between OP and this employee, though. But we
Oh.
didn't get that context.
Got it. Guys, we got an update. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Just wanted to follow up now that a little bit of time has passed and I have a clear head. I've consulted with a solicitor who advised there was a strong case for pursuing this employee for cost. However, this would be disadvantageous for PR reasons. In light of that, I've decided not to pursue them for cost at present. Dang, that does put a bit bad.
Yeah, I mean, it looks bad. And I do, it's like, Duchess Cassandra says, I'm on Dakota's side, but I also don't think what she did was illegal. It's just stinky. I agree. Like, I don't think what she did was illegal either, but it's like she knew exactly how to make this guy have to pay 18 grand and then left him with the bill. Like, I mean, he would have the bill regardless, but it's like, it was for her, the employee. Like,
Okay, story time. Okay, Billy Tom says, team player or controlling, he needs to have eyes on everyone all the time. I think team
Does he?
player.
Dude, we're talking about somebody who gives his employees, he's upset because he couldn't give his employees bonuses.
Yeah.
And he's talking about going into his personal savings. I don't think this guy's a bad boss whatsoever.
No.
I don't trust him.
He's mad
You don't
because he
trust him?
couldn't give his employees bonuses for Christmas. Because all of the
I
bonus
agree.
money went
That
to
sucks.
the accommodation.
And I think that's like the bad thing that came out of this is that like these people aren't going to get their bonuses. That part, terrible. I think it's awful that she did that. I don't think it's all that bad that his office is now disability accessible though.
No, but it's more of the sunk cost of like,
Well,
I did this for this employee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks,
and then
but
they
we're not going to make
literally-
her pay for it
But
though.
Subterfuged me.
But he said that the reason it cost so much more extra because she was like, it needs to be done immediately.
Where she kept pushing to have it done. It's just so weird when you're like, nah, I'm not even gonna be here, and you're like,
Yeah.
no, you have to do this. There's something amiss.
Yeah.
I wonder
something
why
is amiss.
I wonder why the coworker that she was emailing didn't say anything sooner.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I wasn't particularly clear in my previous post, but the office I was already in had a functional elevator, disabled bathroom, etc. My employees' disability, size, and weight meant that they were unable to use the existing elevator and bathroom, which is why she specifically demanded that they'd be changed. I've also seen a lot of comments and got a lot of messages asking why my employee couldn't just keep working from home, given that they'd been working remotely since 2019. Not sure where this came from. It isn't true. Our whole staff, including the employee with a disability, was 100% in the office before the vid. She was working in our office in person for years before the vid without reporting any accessibility issues. After the vid in March 2020, we all went remote from 3 to 4 staff members who rotated to do the end office duties. This didn't work well, and we had to adopt a hybrid policy for all staff. The employee with a disability was the sole one who refused to return to the office when the hybrid working was reintroduced. There were a lot of comments saying how I should have sought funding from DWP. We tried that avenue at the time through this government scheme. There was no funding for the type of adjustments that she was requesting to be made. Other people asked why I had done nothing for 5 years and then rushed this through. This also isn't true. During those 5 years, I made a concerted. First time that word's ever been used in OK Storytime history. During those 5 years, I made a concerted and continuous effort to bring staff member back into the office in a hybrid pattern. This staff member was not the only one who required adjustments, and I have a fairly large team. During this time, I engaged with this employee who had a disability, working with them, applying and inquiring with the DWP's access to work program, etc. If you need a work program and you want to, figure out a way to work from home, your new job is to listen to OK Storytime in all your free time. Just search it up on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or iHeartRadio to apply and press play.
That's right. And we go, yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. We got a little bit more left here.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Whoa, that's a random call.
Yeah. What happened?
Speaking with the solicitor and showing him what we had done before, he said that it was clear my office already met the requirements under the Equality Act of 2010, with the exception of the lowered counters in the break room, which were installed. The improved elevator and the wider disabled bathrooms, which we now have, go beyond the requirements of the Act. On the subject of the Christmas bonuses, through a combination of no longer having to pay the employee who left and selling some of my personal stocks and shares, I've been able to partially fund this year's Christmas bonuses.
Wow. What a G.
Wow. And Carly still doesn't trust this guy.
Bro, why not? What?
This dude went to his savings to give them money.
Okay.
Damn.
Noted. All right, we got some comments left here. That's the end of the story. OP1. He replies with one comment. Okay. So, commenter 1 says, can you please explain how you were going to pay the staff bonuses before this staff member quit? Or was your plan all along to blame this staff member for the lack of bonuses this year, even if she had stayed? That's something that wasn't clear from your last post and could impact any potential litigation. litigation.
Ligamentation.
Here we go,
You
here
said
we
it
go.
perfectly that time.
Okay, here we go. And could impact any potential litigation. Just say it for me.
Litigation.
You gotta,
And
you gotta
could-
mouth it though.
And could impact any potential.
Litigation.
I didn't even mouth it right.
You didn't.
There's like an M in there that's not there. OP says, staff are a lot more accepting of not getting a bonus if it means that a colleague with a disability is getting the support that they need. Staff are not accepting of a colleague making demands, pushing her own work upon them, refusing to come back in when everyone else did with hybrid measures and patterns, and then disappearing when the company has spent 17,000 pounds making adjustments specifically for her. Which makes sense. So it sounds like you were going to pin it on her. Like, oh, we didn't get bonuses this year, but now we get to have
He was
Brittany in
totally
office.
gonna pin it on her.
We get to have Brittany in office all the time now. Yay!
Yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I'm sure it wouldn't have been like yeah, everyone looking for your Christmas bonus, go ask her. That would be crazy. But, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like something's missing with this whole like, well, now she needs disability stuff and before she didn't. Yeah, things change. A giant pandemic happened. Things could have changed. She could have gotten sick and she could have gotten worse. Like, I don't know. Something's fishy to
then
me.
what's the problem there? He did the stuff.
Little
But he was like being a little poop about it.
After she abandoned the company, after he spent
I
18
don't
grand
know.
on it.
I think we're missing something.
I don't.
Sounds like this person didn't like working there, and they're like F you.
Why? Like, why? And they worked there for like 5 years.
Yeah, I thought they only worked there for a
They
couple of
knew
months.
they were
and
going to
then do it.
Cornwall. They'd worked in the office without any extra accommodations before. Everything in the office already met the standards for the act. But
I figured out how to say it.
what?
Little gay son. Little gay son.
Be like
Litigation.
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 Like if someone
Yeah.
was
Litigation.
like gay, they're gaytion.
We figured it out. You know how long it took me to figure out how to
Litigation.
say millennial? I lost
Oh
it.
no!
Millennial?
Restart the clock.
Millennium. But wow, yeah, that was an interesting story. Everyone check on your disabilities, see what you can do to exploit your company, and starting next week, we're gonna have to have everything. All the words that are ever said are gonna have to be in like those things. You know what I'm saying? Like
And
it's
Riley's
like,
getting
in what?
training.
In little
in like
inches?
in like you know how it's like how to pronounce it and it like gives you the
I can
words.
only read words that are 1 inch long.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna exploit you guys, and you guys are gonna have to pay for it.
I think there is a thing though where it's like if you space out the letters or something. I can't remember. This is like a hazy memory, but I feel like there's a way to make reading easier for people with dyslexia, and it has to do with spacing the words out in a certain way or the letters.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Amy Lynn, she says, honestly, being disabled, this sounds more like she just didn't want to return in person and thought that they would let her stay home if she demanded accommodations, but they didn't.
Could
And that
be.
bothers me.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, it's like if I know I'm leaving town, I'm letting my job know, hey, I'm gonna be gone. I'm moving back to Cornwall in November, so that's the plan. And maybe I just work remote until then, because
Yeah.
then I will be leaving
Yeah.
the company.
Listen, I don't disagree that it was a BS move and she really screwed them all over. I just think we're missing something.
Yeah, I could see that. Is there another story or is this it?
Yeah, we have another story.
There is? Where are we at?
An hour.
Maybe she just hates one employee and knew that none of them would get bonuses.
Okay, it's
She's
almost
like, I'm taking yours.
it's almost time to go.
Everything that I have, praise the Lord.
Wow, are we really singing Kanye right now?
Isn't
Is this
that
the fifth one? Are we on the
Isn't
fifth
that
one?
oh
Oh wow.
Isn't that a sample though?
No, that's Kanye, bro.
That's not a sample.
Ooh. So we can do the next story or we can wait and do it later. Thoughts?
What
Wanna
do you
wait and do it
mean?
later?
Wait, today? You just another on Friday?
Yeah,
No.
can. Let's do that.
My father stalked me at work and it got him fired. Maybe he should be. And this comes directly from the r/OK Storytime subreddit. What? Okay, so to explain the title, my biological father was never in the picture. He knew about me and paid child support, but him and my mom were never together. I was a result of a drunken one-night stand, and he was basically not around. And my mom didn't want me to be raised by him. By the way, this comes from Tasty Archer 3371. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Angie.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't know anything but what we know. So let us know what you know, and maybe we'll compare notes. OP says, he rarely wanted anything to do with me as a child, and my mom didn't go out of her way to give him updates or tell him much about me or my life. Basically, she knew he never cared. He has had many children with different women since he was 16.
Oh my God.
Is he okay? And a couple of the women, including my mom, never wanted anything to do with him. He's had criminal charges before while I was growing up, mostly petty theft and anything to do with devil's lettuce, and never kept a job. During my childhood, he probably stopped reaching out or sending me birthday or Christmas stuff when I was around 6 years old. And he started resurfacing when I was an adult a few times on Facebook. He had reached out to me and my mom a few times, and each time I would block him and barely read what he had to say. The most recent attempt before this incident was when he messaged me about 3 or 4 years ago on Father's Day, asking to get to know me and meet me, and I blocked him. My mom thought maybe his existing kids weren't getting along with him, so he was desperate in trying to reach out to the kid he hadn't met yet. He's always been a very self-centered person. So let's get to what happened. I work in an office building on the top floor. One day, I had an AirPod in my ear, and it fell out and went down the elevator shaft.
Ouch. That
That's
sucks.
That's tough, man.
Oh, man.
I knew we had building managers and asked the receptionist if he could go to the basement and find it for me, since I had just gotten them for Christmas from my actual dad, who was there for me growing up. He did. I asked what his name was and thanked him. It's a very common M name. Marty.
Is that common?
Supreme.
I was thinking Mike.
Mike. That's a pretty
Wheeler.
common name.
Mandrake.
Michael Wheeler.
There's like
Ow.
9. There at one point in my neighborhood there were like 9 Mikes.
There's a lot of Mikes everywhere. I know a lot of Mikes.
Yeah.
Morpheus.
That's pretty common. Fast forward a couple of months, and my mom gets a message on Facebook from him because they commented on the same picture that was posted in a group sharing memories of a bar that doesn't exist anymore. The picture was one of their friends that passed away. Anyway, he DM'd her asking if she could talk to me about meeting me, yada yada. She said she would mention it, but reiterated that it's not likely I would be interested, which was correct. Typical bio dad behavior. I had noticed this building manager had been hanging around on my floor more after this AirPod incident, but didn't really think much of it. I asked the receptionist if he was new or something, and she confirmed that he took over for a previous building manager a few months ago. Okay, makes sense. Our office is very high security. We have to scan badges to get to the main office areas, different floors, and even to get to specific floors on the elevator. I work in the legal field, so that matters because our service team is the only ones who can let anyone in if something needs repairs or painted, or for the shredding company to pick up the shred bins. Basically, if you don't work here, you don't have access to the office, just the lobby and conference rooms. There is security on the first floor too, for mail and food deliveries and to keep the parking ramp safe. One day around 3 o'clock on what I think was a Thursday, this building manager just shows up at my cubicle. No one was with him who would have let him in or supervised him. He had installed new carpet on the elevators that week, and I had said he did a good job, thinking he was just a strange dude. Before I said that, I was feeling uncomfortable and thought I should just say something random. He kept saying, I think you'll want to talk to me. Don't you want to know who I am? We should get coffee sometime. We should talk outside.
What? That's
This is
weird.
really creepy. I'd be like,
I'm good.
oh, I'm getting a call.
Yeah.
What? Mom, I have to come back right now?
Actually don't care to talk to you. I don't know. I know who you are. You're the building manager. That's all I need to know.
You say, oh, I'm getting a call. Oh, the police are calling me? Yes, there is a weird guy here.
Yeah.
I was getting really uncomfortable and confused, saying things like, I don't know. Why would I? I don't know you. I was thinking he was trying to hit on me or something, until he pulls a picture out of his wallet of me from 7th grade. I was
Whoa.
mortified.
That is terrifying.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All the blood from my body left me. I felt sick, panicked, and trapped because obviously I was in a cubicle. Of course, I was flustered and said, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Sure, we can get coffee after work sometime. How are your other kids? Aren't they parents now? Like I was clearly at a loss for words and just wanted him to go away. My coworker was a cubicle away, hearing all of this, and an attorney nearby was also aware of his strange presence. My coworker and I are close friends of about 8 years and fully aware of what was going on.
She asked if I wanted her to call security over our private chat system. Luckily, I wasn't just alone in the situation, but still very much traumatized every second of his presence. I don't know how the conversation ended or how I got him to leave. He was probably at my desk for about 30 minutes, telling me that I'm pretty and other things I didn't want to hear. Oh, that's terrifying.
Ugh.
I'm assuming he was just happy to have a kid that was doing well. I don't know my half-siblings other than a couple of their names, and the two I know about have children, which makes me an estranged aunt. One is a male that's 3 years older than me, and the other is a female that's a year younger. I don't know why this man wants a relationship with me if I never once ever showed any interest in the 28 years of my existence up to that point. Who does this when they have been blocked, blown off, and told directly by me this does not benefit me, and I have no interest in your life or family? He's done nothing but pay mandatory child support and gave me maybe 3 or 4 gifts when I was younger than 7, then disappeared until I was in my 20s. What does he want? Why is he here?
Yeah, that's so weird too, though, that he's like your dad and he's still calling you, he's like continuously calling you pretty and stuff. It's
The
like,
thing, yeah, if it was my father and he was saying, "Oh, you're so pretty," like, I'd
Sure.
be like, yeah, that's normal interaction.
for sure.
A guy you don't know,
Yeah.
who is your father, but like you don't know him, is going up to you and being like, "You're so pretty." You're so
Yeah,
pretty.
and
Oh,
like
you're beautiful."
for 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's all he says.
Yeah, right.
You're so pretty. You're so pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've had an experience like that where I was in like a lift and this random, like
no.
Lyft driver was like really, it was like 1 a.m. I was like, "You're so pretty. You're so pretty." I was like,
Ew.
it's terrifying. It's not a fun experience.
Oh, God.
My
And
mom.
you just say, "No, I'm ugly. I'm ugly. I'm ugly. I'm ugly."
No, I was 18 at the time, so I didn't
Oh, God.
I didn't have Dakota level confidence.
Oh, man.
You start going.
Yeah. My mom probably sent him pictures or something growing up, but probably by his own request. So that's how he had that picture of me from middle school. Probably put it in his wallet when he figured out who I was months ago when he went down the elevator for me, and just watched me for months without saying anything. Alas, I went home after that about an hour before I normally would, because I had to process what happened and was scared for my life. I know I sound dramatic, but this person is literally a stranger who has pursued me for years and had been given clear boundaries by me to never contact me. Well, the next day was Friday, and I was living in a twilight zone, scared that he was going to show up again, and talked with my coworker about what to do. She and I both don't have a relationship with our bio dads, so she understood. I decided I would talk to HR on Monday and see what I could do to never see him again. I told him he doesn't need to lose his job over it, but I felt my safety was at stake and that my space had been violated. She would have to talk to his company since he's not one of our employees, but hired by the owner of the building. The update was that he would be immediately sent to a location 45 minutes away and not allowed back to my office. He lasted 3 weeks at the new location and was fired. I felt bad. I wasn't trying to ruin his life or get revenge, just trying to keep my peace and what I had left of it, since I almost quit my job over the incident.
Ugh.
Well, I mean, it's not your fault. It seems like he got fired for separate reasons.
Yeah,
than whatever you did.
Yeah. We don't need to be using that whole ruining your future excuse. That's a
No.
stupid thing. You didn't ruin his future.
He did.
You just ensured your safety. And if he gets fired for that, he gets fired for that. There's a good reason.
I'd rather he be fired than you be unsafe.
Yeah.
My boss had no idea about it, just the one attorney, my coworker, and HR knew. Later, I found out the receptionist was told about it because the old building manager came back. And they're both old people that clearly like to gossip. That was not fun to find out. I think she's respectful enough that she only just informed me that she found out about what happened. Luckily, she's retired now. But yeah, I'm still here at my job 2 years later and wondering if I was the a-hole for giving him hope, but lying and making him lose his job. I think he probably finally takes me seriously now. But you should take us seriously that we have full episodes of stories just like this that you can listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. Just search up OK Storytime. And P.S. I have a very wonderful, kind, active father figure since I was a baby who adopted me into his family when he met and married my mom. They divorced when I was 2 and stayed in my life without any legal ties or responsibility for me, just out of pure love and interest in staying in my life as a father. I also have a stepdad who would harm anyone who does me wrong, including my bio dad. They grew up together and he has hated him since before I was born and before he met my mom.
Wow.
I'm not some fatherless damsel in distress. I'm just fulfilled in my life and it's his loss, not mine. Lots of love to you all, but I'd love to know your thoughts. And
Wow.
do you have any?
Yeah, I think you're totally fine. You don't need to feel guilty at all for what you did.
Don't worry about him, honestly.
Yeah, he it's okay to be mean to people like this, all
Yeah.
right? It's okay to ruin their life a little bit,
We
even
don't need to
though
worry about them.
you didn't ruin your life, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Just be mean, be aggressive. All right,
Consequences
guys?
to their actions.
Yes, exactly.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
You're good. Yeah, you're good. I'm glad that you're safe now.
Me too.
Whoops.
Oh my goodness.
Glad that you're safe now, and I'm glad that you have people protecting you around you.
Me too.
Yeah.
But that's the end of that story and the end of this episode.
Yep.
I gave my husband another chance, but he ruined it once again.
Ah, come on, man.
So, me and my husband met when I was fresh out of college. And a year later, we started to have this casual relationship, friends with benefits kind of thing. However, 8 months into this relationship, I ended up pregnant. Ain't that the darnest thing? I had always wanted a baby, and I decided to keep it even if my friend decided he wanted nothing to do with it. And by the way, this comes from user Analyst Worldly 6141 directly from the r/OK Storytime subreddit.
What?
And you should go there to submit your own stories. I'm Dakota.
I'm Angie.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't know all the answers. We only know what we know. So let us know the things that you know down in the comments. And OP says, luckily, he seemed very excited and said I could do whatever I wanted and that he would be there to support me. He even suggested making the relationship real and introducing each other to our families, since he wanted to be married to me and spend his life with me. We decided to do this. At this time, I had already started working and was living in my own apartment in the building that my dad owned. In our culture, we do not really move out when we turn 18, and our parents support us financially for as long as they can. My husband at that time had no job and ran a bar that had literally zero income because it was just an empty place for all of our friends to gather.
Sounds like a grand old time,
He's
though.
like, yeah, I'm a bar owner, still looking for the bar, but we do have an empty square.
We have the empty square. We've got the vibes that go along with it, which arguably most important part of a bar.
Yeah, we do have the bar patrons.
Yeah.
No bar, though.
No, still working on that.
There's a building.
Yeah.
It says bar on the outside.
Yeah. So like,
No bar on the inside, though.
no.
This is bar in the out. So you walk up, you go, which bar are you going to? Bar.
The bar.
Bar.
The bar.
You know, bar.
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 Oh, dude, that would do numbers in LA. Are you serious?
Bar would do so well.
It would be
It's the
great.
dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I'm picturing bar in Culver somewhere downtown.
Dude, bar, everyone's buying $30 cocktails that cost 5 cents to make.
Tall drink, cold drink, pink drink.
Small drink, quick drink.
Small
One drink, two drink, red drink, blue drink.
The menu looks like it's just been written in pencil.
Guys, we can't give everyone bar for free, okay? We gotta, we'll do this
brainstorm.
behind closed doors.
Yeah.
None of you take this as ours.
He stayed with me most of the time whenever he came to my city and moved in permanently after the pregnancy. Our families were cool with it and decided to give us their blessing. During this whole pregnancy, I was working. I paid the bills and I paid for everything. I was okay with this, and I always said, if I'm being treated the right way and the way I want to be treated, I don't mind being the breadwinner. And my husband was very good to me. My brother suggested opening up a restaurant to help my husband stand on his feet. You could call that one restaurant.
Naturally,
sorry.
right next to bar.
I think we have to like really call out the great joke that Carly just made, because Kim Fine just said rebar. And Carly said that's what we'll rebrand to if we ever get shut down.
Yeah.
I think that's
good.
perfect.
I saw Angie chuckle at that across the room, and I was like,
That cannot go unnoticed.
Yes, that was a good call out.
That was great.
and Ming Ming bar with the barbarian bartenders.
Dude, stellar idea right here.
It just keeps getting better. We would not have to pay any investment money for the setup, and if we had profit, it would be divided equally. For at least a year, if it was running at a loss, we would not have to bear it. The key condition was that my husband had to be the manager. Everything was going so good, and I was so happy that I was already lucky with a generous family who treated me like their princess, and even luckier with a husband who treated me the same way. However, after giving birth, everything changed. My husband started to get moody and withdrawn all the time. It started the night my daughter was born. It was just the two of us in the hospital due to the lockdown. His mood shifted, and he stopped talking to me just because I shouted, "Come fast! I need to go to the toilet!" This was right after I gave birth to this big old baby and had multiple tears in my Virginia that nearly reached my booty. So everything I'm going to say anus. That nearly reached my anus.
Okay.
So everything downstairs was completely messed up. He said I disrespected him all the time and stopped talking to me. Right after you gave birth?
That's insane.
Because you yelled that you had to go pee.
I literally have to go to the bathroom because the typical things that hold things in, not holding things in anymore. I gotta go. Unless you want me peeing all over the place like a
He
dog.
wants you to pee right in your pants.
Right in my pants.
Babe, I'm yelling at you because my anus is torn.
Yeah.
Well, that's not torn, but your other
It's
thing's torn
torn
almost
up.
to it.
I'm torn down to my anus.
How would you feel if you just
You be
ripped-
yelling too,
Yeah.
Buster.
Yeah.
Come on, as John says, that baby was John Fry.
That was a big old baby. I did not think this would be the start of my crying journey. Postpartum was hard. I breastfed my daughter 100%, and that was incredibly hard with cracked nipples and no sleep. My husband would sleep so peacefully right next to me, and every night I would wake him up asking him to stay up with me sometimes because it would help me emotionally so much. I would understand if he had work the next day, but he did not. He also did not have to do any housework because my cousins came to help with all of that. Still, every night he slept peacefully. During the day, he was mostly on his phone playing games. When we were friends, we used to gather with a lot of our friends to play poker for fun, and our friends continued that. I stopped going to those gatherings after I gave birth. My husband kept going. When I asked him to not attend and to help me around the house with the baby, he would get mad and completely shut down. 2 months postpartum, when I was not even completely healed, I was home with my baby. My husband said his friend asked him to help them move houses. I said, "Okay, I'll see you when you get back." I stayed home after getting my daughter ready for a bath. One of our friends dropped by, and I guess he felt really sad when he saw me. He blurted out, "Your husband isn't helping move the house. He's playing poker at so-and-so's house." He's been doing that a lot recently. The whole friend group has been telling him not to come, but he refuses to listen. And that was when it clicked. All the time he said he was going somewhere, he had lied to me. This friend was a high school classmate of mine, but had been friends with my husband longer. My heart was broken. We had our fights, but I trusted him, and now that trust was gone. I forgot to mention that he left the business with my brother because he said it was suppressing his goals and dreams, and I supported that too. I confronted him, and he was not apologetic. He said, "I lied because you get angry when I'm honest with you."
I'm sure you get angry when I tell you about all the terrible things I'm doing. That's why. You get angry when I go to leave you and your healing body and wounds and our new child so I could play poker. What else do you want me to do?
How am I supposed to be honest with you when the thing I'm doing is wrong? You get mad at me. I mean, honestly, so far, it sounds like this guy, it sounds like you got pregnant, and it sounds like he said all of those things because it was the right thing to say, and, like, not necessarily what he really felt. And then the baby showed up, and everything became, you know, it went from, like, a delusion in his head to, like, oh, this is real, and that is my child, and I am his father, and I'm married, and it feels like one of those things where, what is it? The avoidant or whatever? Where it's like, yeah, he just avoided like really thinking or dealing with any of it. And then the baby came and he's like, oh, wait, now I'm stuck.
Yeah. It's like, oh, shoot, this is like real.
And now he's like taking it out on you emotionally and lashing out, being a bad husband, being a bad partner. I told him to get out of the room because I could not sleep next to him anymore. I was getting palpitations and anxiety just being near him, and I was barely sleeping anyway. He left the room and went into the next one. He ignored me for the next 7 days. I gave him multiple chances and asked if he really had nothing to say to me, but he completely ignored me. He just went around to his friends' houses and slept in the room next door. What are his friends telling him? If this was my friend, I'd be like, stop being a scumbag.
Yeah.
Knuckle down. What are you doing?
I mean, that one friend was saying that, like, everyone was telling him not to go to the poker nights and stuff, but I guess they're not doing much about it. If everyone, like, knew that this was happening and that he was lying to OP, and, like, they weren't okay with it, but they also weren't doing anything about it.
I mean, what do you do at some point? If he just, like, shows up, it's like, well, we got to just make it a place he doesn't know where we're at anymore.
I guess so.
Because it's like, what? You're going to just, if he just sits down and won't leave, it's like, okay, we can either ruin the entire night or we can just all try to pretend that Mr. Scumbag over here isn't being a total scumbag and try to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah. Not invite him. If he comes, be like, yo, no one wants you here. Go somewhere else.
Yeah, if he shows up, it's like group WWE SmackDown, like intervention talk time of like, buddy, we all disapprove of your behavior here. Okay.
Yeah.
Ugh. So that was my last straw. I decided I didn't want to be with him. I told him to get out of the house and that I would be serving him divorce papers soon. But he left, and 3 days later, he came back at night begging me to forgive him. I said no. He came back again the next night, and I said no again. All this time, my head was full of him, day and night, thinking about what was going to happen next. Since we had the same circle of friends, I called around asking what he was doing during the day. I found out he was just hanging out with friends and sometimes playing snooker. Do we all know what snooker is?
No.
It's like a funny little version of billiards, popular in Europe.
I see.
Specifically Britain, I believe. It's like bumper pool, I think is what they call it in the States. That made my blood boil, but my heart is not that hard, and I forgave him. We went like this for another few months. He would change for a few days, then go back to the same behavior until I started bawling my eyes out. Then he would become good husband again for a few days. I felt stuck in a vicious cycle. After thinking hard, I decided to stop this because it was destroying my mental health. We went our separate ways. He came to see his daughter as much as he could, sometimes when I was at work and sometimes when I was home. He loved his daughter. I decided I wanted to study more and do my master's in Australia, and my father said he could help me financially. My husband came running back, asking if he could go with me since our divorce had not gone through yet. He said he couldn't live without seeing his daughter. I refused. He then went to my brother, almost crying, asking him to please send him along as well. He promised to help pay 70% of my tuition fees. In our country, many people do this. Strangers get a marriage certificate to go to Australia together, and the dependent pays a percentage of the tuition fees, usually 70-30. My brother loves my daughter and encouraged me to give him another chance. Not to stay together, but just so my daughter could see her father whenever she wanted. He promised to pay 70% of the first semester, but at the very end, he said he could not get the money. What a shocker. I would have said, oh boy, the guy who doesn't do anything and just hangs out at his buddies' places all day can't afford to actually pay? I didn't see that coming.
No way. No way, Jose.
This is just another case of, saying the thing that I need to say to get the thing that I want right now without any consideration or care for the reality of the situation or how I actually feel or what will actually happen.
Yeah, Ming Ming says get it in writing. I agree. Get it in
Yeah.
writing. Use this all against him in court.
My father ended up paying 100% of the first semester. We made an agreement. My husband borrowed the amount he was supposed to pay from my father. Whenever he paid each semester, I would give him a receipt. If he did not pay the 70%, his property, a piece of land in the countryside, would go to my father. With this agreement, we came to Australia. After reaching Australia, my husband paid the fees diligently. He tried multiple times to get back with me, and my stupid weak heart accepted him. We moved in together. He suggested he would pay 100% of the fees since I had working restrictions as a student, and I would pay the rent, bills, and home expenses. What? He's just paying fees? So he's what? He's paying like the $50 on top of all of that?
Yeah. The least he could be paying.
What are we talking about? Is that just Australian for something else, or am I, what?
I don't know.
That cannot be a sizable amount of money that he's paying when you're paying rent, bills, and home expenses. What are we talking about? So now we're at the current situation. My husband does full-time Uber and drives for 12 hours a day. I work 24 hours a week, which is the maximum I am allowed to. I also need to be home with my daughter in the morning and afternoon. I drop her at my cousin's house when I go to work. My husband comes home, sleeps immediately, wakes up early, and goes driving again. When he's home and I try to talk about how things are going, he is always half-hearted and mostly in a bad mood. I understand he must be tired, but I feel like I am walking on eggshells all the time. And by the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this all the time. All you got to do is go to your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever, and search OK Storytime. And we have a little bit left of this story time right now. Again, from one of our own.
Oh my
And
gosh. I forgot about that.
yeah, I think
Terrible.
Oh
I'm pegging this guy as Susie Talks a Lot.
Pause.
There was a big pause there.
I said it. Susie Talks a Lot,
Yeah.
which I thought that was going to be the funny part of it.
Me and Angie made eye contact. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
He just says whatever. He says he's got pre-programmed responses, and then you don't know what's actually going on underneath that.
yeah.
So-
No thoughts in his brains.
At least he loves his daughter. But if every other thing on the list is just negative, 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 negative,
Yeah.
we can't be supporting him
Mm-mm.
financially, or we can't be supporting him emotionally, or like having him be back with us.
Yeah.
If he wants to be in his daughter's life, then let that be the motivation that allows him to, I don't know, build one for himself.
Yeah, just because he feels the emotion of love for his daughter doesn't really mean much in this situation. Like, it's cool, that's great, but like, if you did, then wouldn't you want to support that with your actions, maybe? I don't know.
I am constantly worried about pissing him off and always doing things to make him happy. The only time he is jolly, happy, and talkative is when he wants the spicy sleep. When I communicate how I'm feeling, he either dismisses me or says I create everything in my head. We're like housemates. We don't even talk when sitting right next to each other. My cousins tell me to give him a break and that he's a good man because at least he's working hard to pay my fees. Yeah, because there's a threat of consequence behind it.
Yeah, he's not doing it just out of the goodness of his heart.
Yeah, he's doing it because he's like, I want to keep my land.
Yeah.
But when I calculated it, him paying 100% of my fees is the same as him paying 70% because before he had to pay rent and other expenses. Now that he lives with me, he does not have those costs anymore. Am I the a-hole for feeling this way? No,
Absolutely
you're not.
That whole fee paying thing is like one out of so many issues with this guy. He needs to deal with things on his own. He needs absolutely no help from you. Not the a-hole. Definitely not.
You're not, and if you don't want to stay in a relationship, he'll probably try to be like, you're trying to keep my daughter away, you're trying to take my daughter away. It's like, no, it's actually 100% on you now, how
Yep.
that process unfolds and how much time you'll be able to spend with her. But that is the end.
My coworker cut my hair because he prefers it how he likes it.
I hope you guys work at a hair salon.
And trigger warning for possibly racially motivated.
Oh no.
That's a very specific trigger warning. I work remotely, so I can do whatever I want with my clothes and my hair. I love that freedom, even though I'm still a bit new to it. We have an office in my city for events, and some non-remote coworkers come in, but mostly I get to do my own thing. By the way, this comes from Throwaway the Ring Frodo. Throwaway the Ring Frodo 3. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in these situations. So let us know what you would do in the comments. So, OP says, my coworker, Terry, also works remote. We meet every Thursday morning for cross-department projects. Since the start, he's made comments about my hair and clothes. At first, I brush it off, but he often says that my big curly hair would look better short, even showing me a photo of his wife who has similar hair but wears it cropped. I don't like my hair short, so I just reply, not for me, I'm afraid. We have a holiday party next week, and I volunteered to help set it up. I wasn't doing it out of kindness. I get extra pay and vacation days, and the Caribbean is calling. But Terry was helping too. He had scissors and aluminum foil, showing how cutting foil can make scissors sharper. He kept saying, "It cuts so smooth," slicing random things, and then he grabbed some of my hair and cut it.
No. What? That's considered assault in a lot of ways.
Oh,
in a lot of states, I think.
It's like
it is.
messing with your personal being.
And just coming at you with scissors and like
Yeah.
physically altering you with scissors.
That I would be so mad. I'd be so mad. It was just me, him, and his teammate, and the situation quickly escalated.
Good.
HR was notified. Terry says he didn't mean to, that he just got wrapped up in it and let his intrusive thoughts win. Okay, guys, we can't use TikTok talk in HR meetings, all right? We cannot be telling HR I let the intrusive thoughts win. Come on, guys.
Wow. I'd be like, I think you need actual hospitalized help.
Yeah, yeah.
If you can't override your thoughts of
Right.
cutting your coworker's hair.
Yeah, if you're letting your intrusive thoughts win, you just have OCD, and that's
Not
like
even,
an
I
actual
don't even,
thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's like I think actually a separate thing is
Yeah, it
like
is
people. It's like actually an OCD trait, and then people like overuse it or whatever. I don't know, but dude, we can't be doing that. He also mentioned he's on the spectrum and is incredibly sorry. A coworker told me he's saying that I must hate him and that he's been depressed since. HR is calling me in tomorrow for a meeting. Per policy, they've told me exactly what it's about, my thoughts on the incident, and how I'd like to move forward. I know I don't want to see Terry if I can help it. I also want my stylist costs covered.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in involving the police, but my hair went past my butt and he cut it down to my hip. So it's a significant chunk. Okay, so that's not just like a strand then. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
it's part of it and it's just like super uneven now or something.
Yeah, I'm
but
sure it was just like what I can grab. cut.
Either way, that's like Flynn Rider cutting off at like the neck, that 70 feet of hair.
I'll never forgive him for that.
Never, ever. I'm angry. Yeah. I usually try to believe the best in people, but right now I don't want to hear excuses. Everyone says he's a goofball and excitable, but overall sweet. And maybe that's true, but it doesn't make this okay. I'm trying to figure out what to ask for reasonably versus what my rage and anger are speaking. I'm upset and can't talk to friends or family because they'd want me to go scorched earth. There are some comments by OP. I'm Black on both parents' side and part Indigenous on my mother's side. I didn't want to mention it in the post because I didn't want to run on the assumption that this was discriminatory, mostly because it is. This is a whole other beast and I hate confrontation. I work a lot at it, but TBH, I'm part Native American, so my hair is so specific.
Oh my god, is that why it was so long too?
Dude, yeah.
Dude.
I've almost always had long hair and would donate it when I was younger, but now I just like it long because it's pretty unique to me amongst most other Black women that I know. It's just a little thing that makes me feel unique or special. And there is an update. But yeah, if she's Native American,
Honestly,
that's like a cultural thing.
I figured out what I would do.
Yeah.
He would be paying for a little cleanup trim.
'Kay.
And extensions for that chunk of my hair.
Ooh.
He would be paying the price of extensions that long.
Wait, that's a good idea.
Because I would not be cutting the rest of my hair for that man.
No.
He would be buying me extensions until
Yeah.
my hair grows out to a point where I'm okay with cutting it.
Yeah, yeah.
And those are going to be
Expensive. Past your butt. And to match like the curl pattern
Yeah.
too. And then,
Mhm.
I mean, then, okay, would you keep charging like for every time you have to adjust the extensions too?
Oh, because you have to adjust them so much.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I would need like a full breakdown by a stylist of like how often would I have to come in? Like how
Yeah.
quick does my hair grow kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because like I think I would still pick a point where I was okay with like a couple inches for like health or something.
Sure.
But then after that, yeah, we'd be matching it until my hair was. Yeah. So yeah, for
Honestly?
reinstallation. Honestly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, he cut your hair.
Yeah.
Like, I get it that, like, yeah, hair grows back. It's not like cutting off a hand, but you're right in saying that, like, it's
This is
your person.
meaningful. Like that was something that you liked. It takes so long to
Yes.
get your hair that long.
And that is a big chunk.
yeah.
It's a big chunk.
We do have an update. I'm at a pub near HQ enjoying an adult soda because I'm off for the rest of the day and I can. I went to the HR meeting and it went like this. I took a lot of advice from the comments I received here, and I also broke down and explained everything to my mom, best friends, and my partner. If all were livid, but they gave me good advice as well. I did some research on the Crown Act, which applies locally and federally here, so I had further confirmation that my reaction, being rattled and pissed, were absolutely justified. I preemptively sent a formal email to HR asking for the records, noting that this is a police matter and requesting their cooperation. That got attention. Instead of meeting with just one HR rep, new names were added to the calendar invite by the time that I logged on.
Yeah.
I sat down with Anne, my direct supervisor, Gary, the HR lead, and Leon, the offender's supervisor. The meeting started with a long HR-style apology. This should have never happened, and we take these matters very seriously. They then discussed what they had already done. The offender is suspended, written up, and if he returns, he must undergo mandatory training.
Good.
Witness statements have been documented and will be shared with me. I also have the option to work directly with Leon on matters that branch from my department into his. They reminded me that my job offers free online therapy. Since I'm already in regular therapy, they offered to reimburse this month's sessions. That's nice.
Nice.
I'm also granted paid leave through January 6th, effective immediately, and I'll still be paid for my time on the party and the bonuses promised. But I am no longer required to assist with setup going forward.
Nice.
Then they gave me the floor. I thanked them for their attention and explained that while I want to believe the best in people, this could be viewed as a harmful act and possibly racially motivated. I explained the cultural significance of my hair, the repeated comments made by the offender, and that I never want to be around him again. I said I would be filing a police report due to the seriousness of him touching me without permission and using a dangerous object to cut my hair. I also mentioned that I had sent images to my stylist and expected reimbursement for restoring my hair. Anne said that this might not be possible, but Gary asked to see the cost. Leon, as a black man, spoke up in support, acknowledging that black hair care is expensive and time-consuming and reinforcing my point. He also stressed the company culture, saying it would be discriminatory not to make this right. He even said, Lily is being so calm right now, and I'm impressed because that's some next-level from where I sit. I confirmed that I am shaken and very angry, but want the meeting to be productive. Ultimately, Gary gave a tentative yes, and I requested an email confirming all points and promises, which I received an hour later. I need only send an invoice or receipt to Gary. I was told that an email had been sent directly to HR from the man who cut my hair. I did request it for the record. It contains a clear admission with some bizarre reasoning about intrusive thoughts and his being on the spectrum. He even mentioned that remote work saved him because he's awkward and just wanted to be friendly, but admits that he took it too far. All in all, the meeting went as well as could be expected. I showed the damage to my hair. Leon was visibly upset. I genuinely think the man may eventually be fired, if not for this, then for any other reason based on his supervisor's attitude. Last night, I cried about my hair. At the time, I felt like I was being a crybaby, thinking it was just hair, but it's a huge part of me and my identity and connects me to my indigenous roots. I said that in the meeting as well. Nothing is undone, and my stylist said that I'll need at least a trim at the bottom. I suggested a smile shape based on the commenter's idea, so we'll see how it looks. My mom texted me before the meeting ended, asking how it went. I told her everything. She was proud of me for standing up for myself and encouraged me to alert the police, which I did today. She lightly suggested suing as well, but I'm putting that on hold for now because this was already traumatic and the holidays are coming. Now, with a lot of time off, I'm not sure how to fill my day. I used to work multiple jobs and side hustles, but now I have financial stability, so I put my energy into this job and have been commended multiple times. It feels good to have that reflected back, but I'm still angry. I also feel a bit conflicted about Anne. She was nice and handed me a tissue when I teared up, but looked so uncomfortable it was distracting. I spent most of the day doing things that bring me joy, going to the museum, enjoying an espresso martini, and just decompressing. I reported the incident to the police today, as my lawyer recommended, which was stressful but necessary. All in all, I feel validated, supported, and like action is being taken. I'm still processing my anger and grief, but I also feel a little empowered by standing up for myself. I want to thank everyone who has sent supportive messages, jokes, and hair care suggestions. They've made a huge difference in navigating this situation. I wish everyone a lovely holiday and a little joy despite everything going on. And by the way, I wish that you would listen to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. Just search OK Storytime. And there is a little bit more to the story, but that's a good,
Yeah.
I like how that went.
I'm glad that Leon was, who I think Leon was
Black.
the offender's supervisor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's the one that has the power to fire him.
Yes.
Because she was like,
Yeah.
I think he's going to fire him. I'm glad that was the one that had the power to fire him and not like one of the other, like not like Anne, who like wasn't taking it seriously or something.
Right.
So I feel like you probably won't even have to deal with the guy.
Yeah, I
Again.
feel like you won't. Especially since Leon relates to you and
Right,
like
exactly.
he completely understands.
I feel like Leon's one, I feel like they would never be able to make you work with him again after you being like, I would not feel comfortable with that. But I feel like regardless of if you had said that or not, Leon would have been like, yeah, he's not coming back.
Yeah.
And I like that there's someone on your team that's like standing up like that and like be like, no, this is terrible. And I hope that Anne learned something from him.
Me too. Come on, Anne. But there are some comments by OP. I'm very grateful for him speaking up. I honestly was a little wary of him at first because he used to love that guy. They hung out outside of work, though I don't know if they're very close or just work buddies. I'm glad also that he spoke from the experiences in place of being a black person, knowing the cultural and practical ins and outs to help me through talking through it. He really came through. I owe that guy a gift basket or something. Is that what people do? Give gift baskets? LOL, I don't know. Maybe just some wine or something. And OP also says, OMG, Leon is a real one. I owe him. He had my back. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, I gotta get him something for the holidays just to appreciate him. But I don't want it to look singled out, so I'm thinking some bulk gifts from everyone, but his bag is a little something special. Also, heck no, I won't be signing anything. I made it abundantly clear that I'm making a report, and Leon definitely made it clear it would be on blast if they didn't honor this. Not in those words, he was way smoother than I was. Also, I talked to my stylist, and she actually specializes in crazy special cases, so she's totally going to send the invoice in a template she uses for her work in film and theater and such. Well, that's great.
Yay.
It's upsetting, and when I told a close friend of mine who is on the spectrum, the moment I said he mentioned he is too, she was like, oh, heck no, which helped me a lot. Also, Leon is awesome, and I remember that he really likes Star Wars, so I'm actually going to make a crochet Star Wars thing for him, and then give everyone a small gift bag and add to his my crocheted Star Wars thing, and a note thanking him. He really was the MVP, and he also sent me a text asking if I was okay and seeing if I needed anything. He mentioned his partner has a great stylist, etc. What a sweetheart. It's nice to have the reminder that there are good people, especially when learning or experiencing that there are also crappy people. I was pretty let down. Anne is white, I think, but has an adopted kid who is black, so I was confused. We bonded because when I first joined on, she said that she was fairly new there, too. She had been there for like 4 months before I came along. And then randomly asked me about black hair because she has no clue and her daughter's hair is a mystery to her. I gave her links to my stylist's YouTube that has tutorials and such and my stylist's info. So I was like, girl, where are you? It's so frustrating. She normally is quite vocal and is a huge anti-discriminatory poster on her socials. Her wife is POC too, just not black. Ugh. I still am pretty upset about that. I feel like I shouldn't have had to advocate for myself in that instance that much, and Leon shouldn't have had to back me up the way he did. Glad he did, though. I actually have a lawyer due to past issues, so I CC'd her on the emails. I think she's on vacation right now, but she did send me a short text confirming she's following along. And that's the end of that story.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
dude. Yeah.
Get Flynn Rider out of there.
Get Flynn Rider out of
Glad
there.
you don't have to be around
Get
him.
Flynn Rider. The fact that your hairstylist is also in movies and stuff.
Yeah,
So cool.
that's super cool. I feel like, yeah, I would definitely trust her eye then for like
Oh, yeah.
making
Cleaning up
things,
stuff like that. Where it's
yeah.
just a chunk gone.
a chunk gone.
Ugh.
That's crazy, dude.
I would be devastated.
Crazy.
My neighbor keeps calling the cops on us for noise complaints multiple times a day.
Maybe your neighbor is a bat and they have very good hearing.
And we have a trigger warning. Slap. My
Watch out.
My parents, who are in their mid-50s, and I, 25, have lived in this township my entire life. Many of our neighbors know my parents well, and we have always gotten along just fine. Recently, a new neighbor moved in next to us with her boyfriend, both in their mid-20s, in December 2024. Since then, she has called the police on us multiple times during the day and has also contacted our town's health department. By the way, this comes from Oh Whale. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Dakota.
Oh, well, I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, for context, my dad owns multiple vehicles and motorcycles and does repairs on them mostly on weekends during the day. When he is on vacation weeks, he may do this during the week, but still during the day. He plays music at a low level, more like background noise, and it cannot be heard from the street. He has been doing this for decades without any issues from neighbors. From what we have gathered, this neighbor works from home, although we are not sure what she does. She has approached my dad several times to tell him to stop playing music and doing repairs during the day and night.
Well, when else is he supposed to do them? Linda? Or whatever your name is?
She has also told him he needs to get rid of his truck because it's too loud and rattles her windows. It's a 1969 Chevrolet truck, and if you know older vehicles, they tend to have deeper engine sounds. This neighbor has put up a new flimsy fence nailed to ours and smeared caulking all over her windows to try to muffle the sound. She has tossed weeds and grass onto our driveway and has started pestering other neighbors for doing their normal everyday yard work.
Oh, man. It turns out your neighbor just is a miserable person. That's all this is.
Yeah. It no longer feels like this is just about noise. I've started keeping logs of the police visits because it has reached a ridiculous level. We have had police come multiple times in a single day for the same issue. Apparently, the police already know who is making the calls, but I figured it was best to keep my own records as well. I am honestly appalled. We live in a rough little township with no HOA and barely any enforcement. Freight trains pass through just a few streets over, and the high school hosts games that get extremely loud throughout the year. I have no idea what this woman is trying to achieve or if she has some specific issue with us, possibly even related to race.
Uh-oh.
Although that would not make much sense since her relationship is interracial too. Sorry for rambling, I am just exhausted from dealing with this woman and her constant intimidation. Edit, clarifying some points I've seen, my dad does not do repair or yard work every day. Most of the time it is limited to weekends. During his vacation weeks, he may work more often, but certainly not every day. Other neighbors also do repairs, yard work, and play music during the day, but her issue seems to be with us specifically. He has a garage where the music stays contained. He does not blast music from the driveway, and the garage is a separate building at the very back of our yard. This has been the case for the last 30 years my parents have lived here, and she's the first neighbor to ever complain. This neighbor sometimes calls multiple times a day. As of right now, I'm setting up a meeting or call with the police department to figure out next steps. We have tried to work with her, but she's been hostile whenever we have attempted a civil conversation. And we have a small update. Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, if the police know she's the one calling, she's just going to get herself in trouble by making all of these, unnecessary calls.
Like, how many times are the police going to be called in the same day before they're like, hey, can you actually, stop calling us?
Yeah, don't they be like, all right, we've checked it out maybe, I think it's 2 times, and then you're like, there's nothing.
Right, stop calling.
Yeah.
We won't show up anymore. I don't know. Maybe it's a state thing. I don't know. But
Also, noise complaints aren't even technically, illegal. It's more just, they show up and the cops are like, would you please...
just turn it down.
Would you please be more quiet? There's nothing...
Right.
they won't give you a ticket, I don't think I mean, I guess it depends place to place. But for the most part, it's it's just a complaint. So I don't know. I would just fully ignore her until she just goes away.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you could do.
Well, we got a wild update.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
We're going down a legal route.
Good.
The neighbor attacked me yesterday when I
Oh.
got home from work.
Oh, what are the
Oh.
5 things to say to the face? I'm calling
Smack.
the police.
Yeah.
Not sure what her issue is, but I hope we can resolve this soon. I'm so tired. We have some relevant comments. Commenter 1, keep notes. Every time the police come because of a complaint, what the complaint was, what the police said, date, and time. If you ever need to demonstrate intimidation, this will help. Opie says, I have a journal full of these visits now. My dad is having me research how to get her on intimidation since it's causing a lot of stress for us and our other neighbors. I forgot to mention, I do try to keep track of the fights she has with her boyfriend too. She gets into screaming matches with him a lot that everyone around the neighborhood can hear. Are we calling her on a noise complaint?
I was gonna say how the turntables.
It's time to call the police again.
Commenter 2, I'm surprised the cops showed up since it's during the day and most places don't have daytime noise ordinances. Where I'm from, this would be considered a nuisance call to the police and they'd ticket the person for excessive reporting. Opie says, I'm surprised too. We do have quite a bit of day-to-day noise between the schools and the trains. I work at night and I can sleep through these noises just fine, so I'm not sure what her problem is. Commenter 2, it's time for you to go to the police station and ask to speak to the supervisor on duty, then file a police report with them for your neighbor pestering you. If the other neighbors are having issues with her, they need to do the same. Opie says, thank you. I plan to do so in the next few days, if not today. She's called 3 times today alone. Opie clarifying details on the noise ordinance during the daytime that could have affected the neighbors' working hours at home. Opie says, yeah. We've kept the music low or none at all, and my dad and I usually don't idle our trucks for long, maybe a minute or 2 at most. I leave at midnight and he leaves around 6 a.m. The police have confirmed with us that we're not violating any noise ordinance laws and that her complaints are unfounded. Edit to add, it's not just the music she calls over, it's general yard work, repair work my dad does, and the other neighbors do during the day. She also calls multiple times per day sometimes. It's not every day, even on his vacation weeks. Usually it's on the weekends if he has time. Neighbor tends to call every time he's doing something outside in his garage or out in the yard. We have been trying to work with her, but she either screams at us, ignores us, she wears big headphones outside, or resorts to calling the police. Ours is 60 decibels during the day. Noise restrictions are 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Update 2. 1 month later.
At this point, I'd be like, is there a way I can cut her phone line? Is there some way I can distract her with like a shiny object?
Yeah.
You know, maybe give her a treasure map with a big red X on it somewhere that she can go and search for. She's just bored. Give her something to do.
Give her a task.
She's so bored.
Maybe she just also really wants to do the work on the cars. Invite her over.
Yeah, that's her big secret.
She's
She's
a big
like-
car boy at heart.
I'm actually a Chevy truck girl.
I actually have always wanted a Chevy truck from 1969.
Yeah. I just don't know how to do it.
Hello again, Reddit. I hope you're doing well. Forgive me, I'm not too sure how updates work in this sub. A quick TLDR of my original post. My neighbor's been calling noise complaints repeatedly since she moved in with her boyfriend next door in late 2024. Complaints are about my dad's music, truck, starting in the morning, yard work repair during the day. Let me address the commonly asked questions that I saw. How loud is the music? How often do these activities occur? 60 decibels is the limit during the day. This is about as loud as a vacuum cleaner, according to the health department when we called them to verify. My dad and I marked the sound setting on his stereo's volume knob, so we won't go over that limit. Generally, the music is much lower. We can have a normal conversation without the music drowning us out. My guess is that it's 40 decibels and below, but I don't have a device specific for that measurement. My dad doesn't have the music playing or is doing yard work, repair work every day. He keeps these to the weekends unless he has a week off from work. Even then, he doesn't do it every day. Our garage isn't a part of the house. It's all the way in the back of our backyard, and he keeps the music contained in there and the repairs. These activities that we do are usually in the afternoon, around 1 p.m. and later. Sometimes we do stuff earlier, like 11 or 10 a.m. in the summers because of the heat. Our neighbor only calls the police during the week, with many calls happening around noon, even when we're not home. She doesn't do this during the weekends or when I or my mom are doing yard work in the front yard. It's only when my dad's on vacation and he's doing some kind of yard work or repair work with the music playing at a low level. What have we done to reduce noise? As I said before, we contacted the health department. I believe that's what they're called in English, to verify noise ordinance and anything we can do to help alleviate the problem. We've made sure the noise is within legal limits. But there's only so much we can do when we have things that we need to take care of and are legally allowed to do on our own property. My dad keeps his repair work and music within his garage. It was added onto the property before my parents bought the house, so it's not directly to the side of the neighbor's house. It's in the very back. We verified with the detective that the level of sound coming out of the garage is actually quite quiet and shouldn't be causing that level of disturbance the neighbor says it does.
I feel like we're doing so much extra stuff when we're like, we know that you're not being loud.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being the detective on this?
I was wondering if they just meant like some sort of detector thing.
No, they just literally, it's just a guy there being like, oh my God,
Like,
we're
this girl
investigating
again.
noise. I have to do decibel readings for this guy's stereo.
Insane.
What?
We have tried talking to the neighbor and her boyfriend to figure out a solution, but have been met with nothing but hostility. She wants nothing to do with us. We did allow her and her boyfriend to use our fence posts to build their own fence onto, but this fence doesn't go the whole length of their property. It only goes to the garage entrance, not all the way to the back of the property. Maybe that's a reason why she can hear the sounds. We know that she's been adding noise proofing to her house, but outside of that, I'm not sure what else we can do. We discussed some details with the detective, and the detective verified that we have done as much as we can within our power to reduce the noise. Also, this neighbor has called upwards of 50 times in the last 2 months alone for the same issue.
How is that not her getting like
Right. Why isn't she
arrested
ticketed?
or like whatever they do?
50
She needs to be getting ticketed for that. That's
How-
crazy.
Yeah, how did he get to 50? I was thinking like past 10 times. He'd be like, dude.
Same.
I would give her like you know what I would do? I'd be like, gift, earmuffs. You're welcome.
They
Yeah.
said she wears noise-canceling headphones outside.
She needs like the aircraft carrier.
How big are her ears?
Earmuffs.
She got
Got
elephant
elephant
ears.
ears.
You got
Are her ears?
You got elephant ears?
That's what
over
I
She
there?
just
got
said.
bat
I know, we said it
elephant
at the same time.
ears. Elephant bat ears.
She's also visited the precinct enough that she's become a nuisance to them. Please let me know if I've missed anything. I will answer any questions I'm able to. Alright, so, the update. I added a small update to my original post on the day of, but on the 24th of May, the neighbor confronted me after I'd gotten home from work. I wasn't in the mood to really talk to people. Night shift is brutal, much less her. So when she started bombarding me with questions about why I wasn't listening to her complaints, I told her I'd just gotten home and had better things to do rather than listen to her complaints. I tried to leave the situation after that and go into my house, but she slapped me and told me I was a disrespectful witch and I shouldn't talk to her like that, and she's older. I don't know her actual age, but I know she's young. I tried to disengage after that, but she refuses to stop. One of our other neighbors saw the commotion and called the police. It's been a whole thing. We're considering going for more than just harmful act charges when we're able to. This incident, plus my journal logs and the records the police have, we do have a case. I'm just tired of this situation, and so are my parents. At least my best friend and girlfriend are enjoying the drama. LOL. We have some relevant comments. Commenter 1. Was she arrested? Press charges for F's sake and get a restraining order or the equivalent where you are. OP says, yeah, she was. It's a first-time offense, but we've been working with the police to figure out legal steps. I hope we can get a restraining order after this. Commenter 2, you are into lawyer land. Cameras. Get cameras. Have them doing a 360 around that house. Even better if you can have the cameras record audio. Double check your local laws. I know in Texas, perfectly legal to have outdoor cameras record audio, as 0 exceptions of privacy outside, including backyard. Yes, I learned it all from my own neighbor from and having to do it. Get a lawyer to send a cease and desist letter to them and serve them with it. Basically telling them in very legalized terms to F off and do not talk to you or interact with you. Same lawyers start the process of getting a restraining order and collecting evidence for that. Your cameras will help greatly in that department as it will show proof. Keep a logbook and report any violation she does to the police. Do not interact with your neighbor at all. No speaking, no nothing. If they speak to you, all you say is you need to talk to my lawyer. There's no direct convocation. You will always go through a third party, that being the cops or your lawyer. Be ready to file a lawsuit. Chances are your lawyer will gear up for that as well. The civil lawsuit is more about making the restraining order case stronger and is that other big scary stick that forces people in line. I am sorry you are dealing with this. That list above is what I had to do to deal with my piece of crap neighbor. Now I ended up moving over it, but had to get all that in place to force them in line so we could sell the place and get some peace. The restraining order to make them back off, and then the lawsuit as a big stick to keep them scared. Plus, if they do anything to hurt the sale of the house, it is my big stick to go after the landlord. OP says thank you. Been in the process of buying cameras. Money's tight though. We do have some legal stuff started, lawsuit, RO, etc., due to the harmful act, so that's a start. I've been logging everything into a journal too, along with photos of my injuries. We also stopped interacting with her altogether a few weeks before my first post, so no issue there. I do hope this resolves quickly, and my parents and I just want our peace back. We have another update 3 months later.
Put her in jail.
Yeah,
Put
why?
her in jail.
Why is she,
Yeah, this
why
is
is she not like
insane.
any consequences, like real consequences?
Because she's probably a old lady.
No, she
She's
said she was young.
mid-20s.
Yeah,
Oh no. Maybe she's in her mid-20s, but she looks like an old lady.
probably.
Maybe that's why she's so grumpy.
And that's why she's so
She
mad.
be looking
She
like an
goes,
old lady.
I'm in my mid-20s. I look like I'm 80. And I
Yeah.
don't even have Benjamin Button disorder.
I just look like an old lady. I do apologize for taking so long to get back to you all. I was in a work accident in July and have been dealing with a TBI ever since.
Oh no.
That's not good. That and life has been busy for me with good things. I wish I could say I have a good, dramatic update, but it's rather bland, meh. Nothing huge happened. My neighbor was slapped with community service and given an order to stop wasting police resources, and a fine. She lost her job, so her parents have moved into the property in a camper to help her out.
Whoa, that's usually when you lose your job in your mid-20s, you move in with your parents. They don't move into an RV in your front lawn. That's crazy.
Reverse. We haven't had any problems since. My dad thinks they'll move within the year or during the winter since the winters get super bad here. So yeah, nothing crazy. Just a woman being slapped with the consequences of her actions. She hasn't bothered us since, and my family couldn't be happier. Oh, and we did get a nice new security camera for our property, so some things are looking up. If anything major happens, I'll post another update, but for now, I'll be back to lurking. Thanks again, Reddit. I hope you all have a good day wherever you're at. And edit to add, I forgot to mention something I think you guys will enjoy. My dad is a beloved member of our community on the street we live on, so a lot of the older folks have taken to causing as much noise as possible to piss off the neighbor.
Yay! It's a team effort. It takes a village, huh?
Needless to say, I think it worked. We have another update.
Yay! Jail, jail, go to jail. Or like just somewhere else.
She probably was like, since her parents like moved, and she's probably calling the cops to be like, the people in my yard, they're so loud.
She's calling the cops like, my mom won't let me go out past 11 p.m.
They're too dang loud.
Too loud.
Police, my parents are telling me to fill out something called a job application. And I'm scared.
This update's relatively short, but it's a very happy ending. The neighbor and her boyfriend broke up and they've sold the house. They've since moved out and will probably have new neighbors soon. And by the way, we'll have new episodes soon that you guys can go listen to. New episodes with full stories just like this. Go Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts, search up OK Storytime.
Yay! That's what we'll sound like when you do that.
And if you don't, Dakota will sound like this.
What if they want that though?
Then they're mean people.
What if I want that though?
Then you're mean people.
Yeah.
Good.
But you got those Christmas hams. But you
In your
got those Christmas hams.
And we've got a little bit left of this story. My dad and his neighborhood buddies have been celebrating about it quite a bit. Even my wife and girlfriend have been laughing about it. We're all glad she's gone. All the legal stuff's been figured out too. So cheers. Anyway, that's my final update for this whole debacle.
I'm going to this, and I need to see a comment or a reply to what that means.
I'm guessing maybe
No.
his mom and his girlfriend, or maybe he's just, I don't know.
I
Your
have to figure out what that meant.
Your mom can't be your wife. Not in this day.
I was hoping maybe like he was saying like, and my dad's wife. And
Why
my
are they
girlfriend.
deleted? They're
That's-
deleted. Ugh.
That's why.
He got deleted because of wife and girlfriend. Just surprise Polly right at the end there. Surprise
Anyway-
open marriage.
Anyway, that's my final update for this whole debacle. Thank you, Reddit folks, for sticking around for it, and if you've kept up with my updates. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Cheers. Opie clarifies on his relationship having a wife
Thank you.
and girlfriend.
Thank you.
Oh my god, wait! Yeah. I have 2 partners. Polycule. Haha. It's a multi-generational household due to cultural, health, and financial reasons. I live in the US in a place with quite high cost of living, so it makes sense. To clarify, my dad doesn't run any businesses out of his garage. He likes to tinker and fix vehicles he owns, always has. It's more a hobby than everything. The people that live in my house are me, my parents, and my wife. My girlfriend has her own house a couple of towns over.
Well, at least it's good. You keep your girlfriend a couple. Maybe that's it.
Maybe
Keep
your
wife
girlfriend
close.
can move in
You keep
next
your girlfriend
door.
close. You keep your girlfriend close. You keep your wife closer.
When you've got a wife polycule with a girlfriend, it helps to make sure your girlfriend is out of town, lives out of town.
Well, maybe the girlfriend can take the house that's opening next door.
So where are you at? Oh, I'm in girlfriend town tonight, but I'll be back in wife town in a couple
I'm gonna
hours.
be in Wife City.
Wife city and girlfriend town. Yeah, there we go. Girlfriend village.
And somebody comments, you mentioned she assaulted you in your last story. Anything happened with that? Opie says, in terms of the legal side, she received community service and a fine. We considered a no-contact order / restraining order, but didn't pursue it in the end. That is the end.
That was just really funny that he's like, my wife and my girlfriend thought it was hilarious. And you go, wait, where did that come from?
Well, because it wasn't mentioned at
No,
all.
it was never mentioned. It was never pertinent to the story, really. But it was just like,
I thought anytime he was saying it, he was just switching between like saying wife and saying girlfriend, and he just like it wasn't clarifying which one it was.
My
Not
girlfriend
that they'd
wife.
both been there the whole time.
My husband refused to cut off his coworker, so I'm leaving him.
Cut off the coworker, dude.
Me, 40 female, and my husband, 47 male, have been together for 11 and a half years. Married for 4.5 years. So here's my dilemma. Sorry for length. We have been together for 11 and a half years, married for 4.5. I have 12-year-old twin boys from a previous relationship, and we have a 3-year-old girl together. By the way, this comes from Horror Princess 57, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, my husband has traveled for work for about 9 years now.
Oh.
At first, he had work colleagues that he would travel with, gone for a week at a time. So obviously, he traveled with both men and women. One woman in particular started to become a problem within about 4 to 5 years of him working with her. It started that he would bring her up in casual conversation all the time, which I didn't really mind at first until it became more frequent. Then, once I brought it up that it made me uncomfortable, I had never had a problem with her before, he stopped talking about her altogether. Then came when we would go on vacation. She would call, you would press the accept button, and before she had a chance to say anything, he would say, the wife and the kids are here in the car. Which I thought was weird, but brushed it off. The very first time she called, they talked for about 20 to 30 minutes. And when they hung up, I asked who that was. He says, oh, it's XYZ. And then immediately goes to trash talking her. She's crazy. She talks too much. She dresses weird, etc. Which to me was red flag number 1. Yeah, he's like, this woman sucks. Oh, God. Oh, every time I think of her, I just want to throw up.
He's trying to unscent the trail.
Yeah. Then another time we were on vacation. Same thing with the wife and kids are in the car. And they proceeded to talk for over an hour while you guys were in the car.
That's kind of weird. That happened to me once on a road trip.
hate
and I was
that.
like, why are we calling people? Why aren't we just hanging out?
Sam does it all the time in the car.
Yeah, I was with Sam.
I have to be like, Sam, I want to talk to you. Sometimes I don't mind because it's someone I want to talk to too. Fast forward, I found out that they would stay
in the same hotel. He offered up this info and went out for dinner while they traveled together. I found this out through the text between them, which was fine at the time because I trusted him. Then came the bad feeling like something was wrong. So I went through his phone. Seemed like some parts of conversation were missing, but otherwise normal office banter and work talk. Sometime later, months and months, I get that bad feeling again and go through his phone again.
I think
This
they're
is work
smarter than this though.
Yeah, I feel like
They
they're
don't.
hiding
They
it.
wouldn't say what they're doing. Since they
They're
work
not
so
that
much
smart
together.
if they're having hour-long conversations while OP's in the car. Pretty
Yeah,
st-
but
silly.
they work together. Why can't they just wait for that? Maybe he does love her.
Yeah, maybe he's in love with her and he just can't wait. So originally, he had 2 separate names, 2 separate numbers, and 2 separate conversations in there. The next time I checked it, one name and conversation was completely gone, and the other conversation and call log was at least 75% deleted. His excuse was that he deleted them so that I could see any new messages coming through easier. That was red flag number 2.
Oh boy.
More time passes, and I bring it up again that I don't like this woman, and whatever they have going on makes me uneasy. He proceeds to tell me again that she's crazy, she's just a friend, and he's pretty sure she's into women. Also, this time he gets super defensive and storms off. So that was red flag number 3.
Oh man, he's not doing a good job at cheating. We could
Yeah,
write
yeah.
a book on how to cheat.
Yeah,
Good.
that would be bad. That would be a bad book to release. But we could, but we won't because
I think
that would be
we-
using our powers for evil.
Okay, yeah, we can write the book. It's 1 page. Don't cheat.
Don't cheat. He also has been on 2 vacations without me. Las Vegas.
What?
Of all places.
Wait, without you?
He's been weird with his phone, like turning it away when he texts,
Ah.
deleting texts with possible affair partner. He's been short with our daughter. Also, one day, out of the blue, he says, if we ever got divorced, you would take full custody of our daughter, right?
Oh my god. Just checking.
Just literally totally hypothetical.
Theoretically.
Like, this is all hypothetical here, but what you would take our daughter when we get divorced. I mean, if we get divorced. If I cheated, if I were cheating on you,
Dude, you know, he probably has a list of things to ask wife before
Yeah.
getting divorced, and that was one of them.
yeah, he's like,
It's
okay.
2 more
If we
left?
were divorced, would we have separate? How would we separate our bank accounts?
That's probably on that list. Uh,
One morning, he got out of the shower. I was getting dressed, and he walked in, grabbed his clothes, and got dressed in our master bathroom, which he has never done to my knowledge, even though he tells me he gets ready in there every morning before he leaves for work
Okay,
or leaves for the week.
what's weird for this?
I don't know. I made a post on our anniversary and tagged him in it, and none of his friends liked or commented on it, which leads me to believe he didn't approve it to show up on his feed. Same with the 4th of July post I made and tagged him in. The time before, when I brought things up again about possible affair partner, he really offered no real solutions, and at the end said, can we put this behind us so we don't have to talk about this again? So everything came to a
Ooh.
head tonight.
Dang.
Yeah,
if
this
he-
guy is 100% cheating.
If he really wasn't cheating, how can I ease your mind with this?
Babe, it's Vegas.
Nah, this man is like cheating more than, I don't know, he's the cheating McCheaterson. And he's the worst at it, too.
Babe,
He's the worst cheater we've seen.
what
Well, not
happens
maybe
if
not the
Vegas
worst.
stays in Vegas?
But
Oh no.
but he's pretty bad. Yeah,
No.
he's like, no, babe, you don't understand. Nothing happened in Vegas because I can't tell you.
Stay there.
It's like Fight Club.
Either.
First rule.
I can tell
duh.
you. We went out in our garage to talk, and I said, I don't know how to start this, so I'm just going to say it. I need you to come clean. I need to know everything that's been going on because I can't keep doing this and feeling like this.
Oh,
And if you can't do that, I'm going to leave. And he said, OMG, what now? So I started in again on possible affair partner, and he immediately got super defensive, saying that he doesn't know what I want from him. There's nothing going on. What do you want me to say? So we yell. I'm crying. He asks what I want him to do, but every time I tell him, he acts like he doesn't have a choice and that he can't get rid of her because they work together. They don't. They work for the same company, but different departments now and no longer travel together. And they live across the country from each other. It ended with him telling me, I'm not going to get rid of her. If she calls or texts, I'm going to answer.
oh, there we go. There we go. Dig in
He's
deeper.
cheating with her.
Keep-
He's a cheater.
Keep digging, OP. You're close.
I should have gotten up right then and told him that that was the end of the conversation because he's obviously made his choice. And you did, right? You did, right?
Right?
Right.
No, left.
We yelled a little more and he stormed off and left. Came back after about 20 to 30
See?
minutes.
See?
Nice.
There are many, many more red flags. I just don't want this to be any longer. Opie's like, don't worry, there's actually a lot of worse stuff. It's getting too long.
Yeah, this is a long enough story here. Oh, OP, dang.
OP.
The thing that sucks,
Yeah.
she doesn't really have definitive,
Proof. Or at least enough proof for her to be like, well, I know, for sure.
and I can go through divorce pretty easily,
Yeah.
full custody of everything.
Well, it seems
Ugh.
like you would give her full custody
Yeah, that's true.
based on the hypothetical. I know how bad this looks, and in the back of my mind, I know what I need to do, but starting over, especially as a single mom, is terrifying. But I also can't keep living this way, especially if he's not willing to be honest and transparent with me. Also, I know I don't have the smoking evidence, so leaving on a bad feeling and some red flags doesn't quite sit right. Have you been in this situation? What did you do? What would you do if you were me? Any advice welcome? Thanks. And there is an update, but what do you think?
I'm stuck on she lives across the country.
Yeah.
And
Well, I feel like that's why they're calling and texting so much. They're behaving as if they were in a long distance relationship.
I see.
I think that you have enough. I think that you need to stop gaslighting yourself into thinking that you don't have evidence, because you do.
There's a way to get better evidence. Though.
And you can, if it helps you, you don't even have to make this about cheating. You can say, I have noticed that anytime I try to bring up a conversation, you don't want to have that conversation. I've noticed that you're pulling away from me and our daughter. I have noticed these things, like things that you can actually pinpoint that make you mad or upset or uncomfortable. And you don't even bring up the cheating. You say, you know what, regardless of what I think about that, these are things that I've actually seen.
That's tough. Ugh.
Tough.
Oh, OP. Good luck.
Update. Husband admitted to emotional affair.
Oh,
There
I don't think it
is.
was just emotional.
I don't think so either. Well, maybe because they were so far apart.
Well, they would travel together though.
It's true. 2 weeks later, like title says, we sat and talked, and he finally admitted that they took the friendship too far,
Oh.
and it crossed the line into an emotional affair.
Oh.
I don't know if I'll ever get the whole truth. This is a woman that he traveled with for work. He says he only traveled with her 12 times in 5 years, which I'm pretty sure is not true, but whatever. They stayed in the same hotel. I found out they would go to dinner when they were traveling together. Give it to me straight. What are the odds he's telling me all of it? 0. He swears up and down that he's only been with me spicily since we got together. Will there still be trickle truth? I'll admit I feel a weird sense of relief, because at least I know I'm not crazy now and my intuition wasn't wrong. And edit, he says they haven't talked in forever, that he doesn't even remember the last time they talked. But just 2 weeks ago, he was willing to lose everything for this woman. It's just not adding up.
Yeah. No, you lost them.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, no,
That's a
he-
tough one.
If they had dinner together and were traveling together and staying in the same hotel, they were probably having a physical affair. Edit. I don't know if this matters, but he also recently got diagnosed with HPV. I do know that HPV is super transmittable. I've done a lot of research. And that it can lay dormant for years or even decades and doesn't necessarily get picked up by spicy means. Although I think that's not the majority of cases. Yeah, he definitely got it.
Mm-hmm.
But there is an update a month later.
Oh boy. Can you
Yeah,
get
you
through
should get
divorce in a
tested.
month?
Yeah, divorce and get tested. But you wouldn't be the a-hole if you wanted to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search Focus Storytime. And we've got a little bit left of this story. 1 month later, I have decided that we need to separate for however long. We each get individual therapy and go from there, huh?
Oh boy.
I don't like how that sounds.
He needs to tell the whole truth before you do that.
Yeah. This means that I will be moving back in with my parents, which I don't want to do. But it's better than being where I'm at and feeling how I'm feeling. I feel that this will give me the clarity I need to make a decision to see if we can make this work and we can truly reconcile, or if I cannot move past it and we need to just end things. I don't know why I feel this way, but I truly am at a crossroads. The bigger side of me wants to just rip off the Band-Aid and get a divorce, and the other side loves him. We have kids, etc., and want to make this work. I don't know if it's possible, though. I don't know. Any words of encouragement or anything really is good. Divorce.
Yeah.